Warning, we are a spoiler-based podcast. At times, we are also an offensive podcast. And we are most certainly a verbally explicit podcast. So if you fear for any of your delicate sensibilities, please back up now before you reach the point of no return. This is your final warning. Listen here, fuckers. Welcome to Cinematic Anarchy. Zeph is back in the motherfucking house.
About fucking time.
Bam, 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 bam.
I'm working on the sound effects for that.
Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah.
I am sound effects.
I like that though.
So I'm here with a
reason.
larger group. Except I guess Peyton's been here a couple of times. She's not here today.
She's been here once.
One time.
But
I am here with El Jefe.
Hey.
I am here with Mr. Omar.
That's him.
I am here with Alex Parsons, if you didn't want your last name thrown out there too late. And Miss Honeybee Kind, Nikki B.
Yo.
What was my name last
And,
time?
The undercover bad bitch.
Undercover bad bitch!
Yeah!
So we can just pretend
that.
my last name was not included.
You say last
undercover
name?
bad bitch.
Undercover bad bitch, Honeybee Kind.
No.
No, oh, you're undercover. Yeah, undercover bad bitch.
I'm so undercover he doesn't even know who we're talking about.
We could have had a bad bitch.
Knuckle middle. Help you with your podcast. Just a little.
And, today we're having sort of a free-for-all podcast. We're doing a little bit of a celebration for Miss B over here, whose birthday is this weekend. And Mr. Ben, who is no longer in the room. And we are also going to be doing a quick sort of get-to-know-you thing here to start off with. So, in general, we're going to be discussing Nicolas Cage and his films. But beforehand, we're going to go ahead and just kind of ask some questions to the room based off of some cards we have here from a game called Ducking High. These questions will get you high.
Damn autocorrect.
We're going to start with Mr. Zeph and go around the room.
So, mine's a relatively simple question. Didn't really get me high.
No?
What it was is, which two musicians, living or dead, would make the most epic collab? And mine's relatively simple, because I think the two of them would have worked great together. It would have been The Weeknd and Michael Jackson. I think they would have done an amazing collab together.
The versatility, yeah, that would have come
on. Michael Jackson.
That would have come
versatile when one sounds like the other.
Well, that's the thing, you know. Like,
yeah, but they're both very versatile.
But the thing is like The Weeknd, you know, does do a lot of covers that sound relatively similar. But I think the harmony of the two of them, like being on stage, and the two different, I mean, they have almost like they have two completely different. Like fan bases, but I feel like they both would get along together. You know what I mean?
I think it's the same fan base, just different.
Can I give two answers? One is real, one is fake.
Okay.
Beethoven and Michael Jackson was actually what I just said to her. And then you said The Weeknd and Michael Jackson, so I was like, that's kind of weird. And then Janelle Monáe and Prince.
Oh my god, yes!
That would have been incredible.
Yes!
That would have been deep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I just had to bring it down a minute.
Yes.
And just get real with that. Because I was like, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I say this every time I listen to powerful with a little bit of tender.
I kind of want to see Brendan Urie with Billie Eilish.
Okay.
That'd be interesting.
I'm the bad guy. Duh.
See that.
I love that song. That was like the most catchiest shit ever.
My favorite line is "Might seduce your dad" type.
I'm gonna go a little bit over.
I'm not a dad, but
because I might. Watch out.
I think these two. Why are they on the same couch?
Separate them. They're dangerous together.
I think it works.
And I like
It works.
It works. It does work.
Sassiness, assiness.
I put the ass in sass, so you better watch out.
There you go.
I put the dick in Dixon.
I put the dick in ass.
Which it happens.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
I'm sorry, you have nothing.
us here at Cinematic Anarchy.
So it's Omar's turn, right?
I put nothing nowhere now. You win.
Usually.
And you shut up.
It's just like when we worked together.
I think one collab I would have loved to see that would have sounded really good would have been D'Angelo and BB King.
D'Angelo.
And BB King, because
If you guys don't know who D'Angelo is, he's the shirtless guy.
and how does it feel?
Oh, I thought you meant like
Well, he also
D'Angelo's sandwiches.
no D'Angelo, great singer, great musician. That's a modern day soul, great singer mainly, but his music is amazing and he's very bluesy type of sound the way he sings. So he would have done something great with BB King.
I could definitely see that, though.
I got two greats I'd like to pair up. John Lennon and Eric Clapton.
That would have been nice. However, I'm not sure what they would have done. I would have liked Eric Clapton with
Imagine if I saw you in heaven.
Imagine if I yeah, that would have happened. Musically, I see it. Lyrically, I'm not sure what John Lennon could have said to Eric Clapton's music, but I'm sure something would have come out of it because they were very creative.
And mind you, it could have happened at one point.
Yeah.
It would have been interesting to see what those two could have put together if you had maybe just thrown them in a studio together and said, just come up with something.
You know who I would have liked to hear? Johnny Cash and Eric
Jack
Clapton.
Antonoff and Lana Del Rey.
That would have been interesting.
Johnny Cash and Eric Clapton would have been deadly. I would have loved to see that.
That's interesting.
I want to change
Okay.
mine.
You want to change
I
yours?
want to change mine.
Okay, go ahead.
Brendan Urie. Does anyone else listen to Postmodern Jukebox?
Oh my god, I was just listening to
Okay.
Baby One More Time earlier.
Casey Abrams?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know who Casey Abrams
I
is.
don't,
Okay.
but I'm following.
I'm listening.
But we're learning.
Brendan Urie and Casey Abrams together would be fucking amazing. Hold on. I have to pull up one of his songs. He's got such a good
Ask yourself a question.
I think it was.
Can we play that on the podcast without it getting pulled?
It's a cover of a song.
I think it was you who put me on to Casey Abrams.
No, the only thing that I would... You might want to play that later.
Yeah.
You
Just
can
to
show us
kinda-
like on a smoke breaker.
Yeah, I will.
We have that. We do that on occasion.
Yeah.
Well, at least
All right, so
I do.
let's move on to question number 2 here.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was still the first card.
Yeah, that's
so.
the first. You're next.
Which wild animal do you think will make the best domesticated pet?
Giraffe.
Wild. What?
Which wild animal do you think will make the best domesticated pet? Probably me.
Of course, yeah, giraffe. That would be the most expensive domestic enclosure, just in sheer height.
Cathedral ceilings, you're fine.
Yeah.
Guys have seen the Hangover 3, and he's like, I got a giraffe! And he's driving on the highway.
Yeah.
He hits the bridge. No.
I saw something similar yesterday in a movie called Hereditary. I finally got to watch that movie.
A good fucking movie, yo! Oh my god!
By the way,
I do.
Just so you're aware, I have been advised that as a birthday gift, we are doing that next weekend for Mr. Batten.
Fuck yes!
So that is next weekend's podcast. We haven't even gotten out of the Nick Cage podcast. We're discussing the next
This
one.
is like talking
And we
about
haven't
another
even gotten
restaurant.
over this.
Greta's gonna be so happy that we're watching it for like the 4th time.
Yeah.
You ever do, but like everyone does that, right?
Pretty much.
Everyone talks about a different restaurant.
You're at like Uno's. And, remember that time we went to TGI Fridays and they had that.
You know what place has better food than this?
I need to stop ordering from Fridays on DoorDash. Like, a fucking a meal that's normally like $25
Oh my God.
will come out to like
Delivery
$50.
fee, tip,
Yep.
convenience charge. Like, it's like soul of your firstborn.
Honestly. And fucking like, okay, so
At that point, you're
ordering
almost
for
better off just
Fridays, they
Ubering to the
just
place to
throw
pick up the food
everything
yourself.
into one container. Like, they don't separate the sides or anything. They just like throw your fries on top
Like
of your
it's a
ribs.
school lunch.
Yeah,
And they don't
like,
care.
It's so bad. And fucking, okay, let me tell you, their seasoned fries is salt and pepper.
That's the seasoning.
There's
I'm
something else.
saying-
So
They are-
mad about this.
They are
Why?
seasonings, except.
What white bitch was allowed to approve this goddamn menu?
It was
Seasoned.
Well, they
was
didn't
the
want it
fat
to be
white
too
guy.
spicy, so they stopped putting mayo with it.
Outside of mango to make
was
it to
the,
spice it up.
fat white guy in the kitchen sweating on your fries, so it's really just pepper.
Don't talk about yourself like that, Sal.
First of all, I was the fat white guy behind the counter.
The animals.
Like capuchin monkeys. Generally wild animals,
Seems
they
like-
can be domesticated.
Seems like a very Ross thing to say,
face
but
tearing would happen.
Yeah.
Actually, from what I've seen, not so much face tearing as leg humping. Or humping of literally everything in sight.
Once they realize they can't impregnate your face, they might just rip it off.
They get mad.
You're not giving me what I need!
Or
I mean, but is this like
Or
a
make an attempt to
hypothetical animal that you would like
assault
to have, or
every
is this like
head orifice.
the most optimal because a dog?
I don't know. Bats look like they make great pets.
They don't make great food.
No,
So
I
heard.
don't think so.
So
Bats,
heard.
foxes.
I know a guy who makes a good bat wing.
Bat wing. Buffalo bat wings.
Yeah, deep fried bat wings.
Whoa.
Sounds like it'd be really crispy.
Hashtag
Yeah.
coronavirus.
I feel
Sounds
like
like it'll be
there's
crispy.
no substance to that.
Have you ever fried paper?
Right?
Essentially the same thing.
Sounds will be a lot like pig ears, but very dark.
No, like
But we're talking about
Chicken
domesticating wild animals, not eating them.
What do you do with your animals?
I love them.
I love them.
Hump them back.
I hump them back.
Don't go that far.
Not that much love.
going
They've got to
up.
have that
I love
fear
them,
that
but not
allows you
that
to
much.
domesticate them, you know? Hey, look, if you're not good, there's a pot over here.
Going off ducking high, I would like a flock of little baby ducks, just like at all times.
Okay.
That
That
could
never
be
grow up.
domesticated. They could be
Yeah,
domesticated.
they can't grow up, but they have to follow me everywhere.
Like in
You know what I mean?
Fly Away Home, but they were geese?
Yeah,
Do you remember that movie?
I understand.
Yes!
I
I watched that
understand.
shit when I was growing up.
You know what I mean?
Anna
But like,
Paquin.
but my only fear with that though is that because I'm a giant compared to these little baby ducklings, I might step on one because they're like constantly at your feet. But like, I would just love it. Just
So you
a
shuffle
million-
your feet. You don't lift
Yeah, I
your
have
foot
to-
and just kind of
No,
shuffle.
I
And then
wanna-
every time you cross the street, people will be like, make way for ducklings.
I remember that movie. I was forced to watch it by one of my kids. I don't remember which one of them, but he was little and they showed it at school. And I saw the craziest movie today, Fly Away Home, and he wouldn't shut up. I was like, now I gotta watch this
It's
shit.
a really good movie.
I thought about it like for 3 days, and okay, you know what? I'm gonna watch it. Let's see what the fuck is it. 5 minutes later, I was like,
Right, no, literally.
Probably one of
Well,
Jeff
the
Daniels'
Hunter
better
Cry.
movies.
What do you mean you want to take them away?
Don't clip my
No,
legs!
I was literally gonna say the clipped wings scene. Oh my god, I literally still cry.
that movie
No, I want a red
that
panda.
movie made my eyes
A
sweat.
red panda.
A red panda.
Okay. I want a sloth.
Only
Yes!
A
if
sloth
I can
would
teach
be
you how to
dope.
fight.
Just
That would be
climb
such
up
a-
the banister of the stairs all day. Hang on.
Did you see the
Just
video?
hang
And
from the
then
top
stare at
edge.
you like an ass.
Dog.
Like, what are you looking
Did
at?
you
I
guys
get
see
so
the
frustrated with
video
my dog
of
because
the?
he's
I
like
gotta
up at like 2, 3, 4 in the fucking morning, running around the fucking bedroom, and like we're not gonna let him out into the, like run around the house because like the family's sleeping and shit and fucking god, he's so annoying. I would love a sloth.
Yep, it's so
Yeah.
slow. But did you guys see the video of like the guy he like helps the sloth across the street, and, like puts him in the tree, and then just like turns around, and is like.
Yeah.
The sloth way that.
Like turns around, and goes.
So funny.
Okay. Next card.
I love this so much. What's a sound you wish you could taste, and what would it taste like?
Bass.
Wow.
bass, like the bass, like a drum,
I feel
like a kick drum.
I feel like it would taste like mashed potatoes.
It will taste like chocolate.
Okay.
Dark chocolate, but unsweetened. That will taste like, and I would love to taste that.
So like something like 82% cacao.
Yeah, that's what this
songs.
will taste like.
I feel like the sound of a car crash would taste like ghost pepper flavored Pop Rocks.
I was thinking pan. You know what I mean? I think that would taste like Pop Rocks.
Okay.
Each
But
I feel like that would taste like hot sauce.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like sriracha.
Actually, I designed.
No, I think it will
hot
taste
sauce
like the
company that
Louisiana
uses just
hot.
ghost peppers in all their sauces.
How do they see any of it?
How toasty.
Well, that's what the label's for.
It's like how they use camo for the Space Force uniforms. It's like, oh, hope we can't see you out in space.
Mirrors.
That would be camo.
That's not
Yeah.
slow motion
No, they
thing.
literally
It's
like green
just-
camo. Like, so that they're undetectable. Or like,
Right.
it should have been like black with little white dots.
Yeah. That too.
Just
Just black.
Just black. Black and be black.
And Omar over here and Seth are doing their own thing. They're actually showing the video of the slop I'm taking.
So this is going to
Yeah.
be a mind fuck, but I
Have you
think
seen
the
it?
sound of chips crunching
Chris, have you seen
would taste
No, I haven't
like Frosted Flakes. Just almost the same.
Like chips.
No, that's what they'd expect.
Like Frosted Flakes.
I wish there was a glitch in the Matrix so that could happen one time. It's like you tasted a sound.
Takes certain
I've got
sound.
a couple of I've got a whole playlist of lo-fi songs, and I feel like they all would taste like
They have a flavor.
yeah, like the lo-fi vibe songs. Hang on.
I need to experience this. Oh wait, can you play it on the podcast?
Yeah, I'm gonna play
Swings
the
his arm
songs
around.
when we go out for the
Okay,
smoke break.
okay.
But I feel like lo-fi songs would taste like Airhead Extreme belts.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
What is it? Sorry.
like lo-fi vibe fucking songs. I got a whole playlist of them. I'm gonna show you guys
I didn't
after.
think about like
The playlist that I gave
music
to Ben.
flavors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually heard some of
Yeah,
it
I
because
feel
he
like
plays
that
it.
would taste like Airhead
Music
Extremes, like the
flavors.
sour
taste of
belts.
music instruments.
Billie Eilish would taste like
Okay.
like
Skittles.
Candyland, like just like a different.
It's not like
flavors of
crazy
candy.
intense.
Bad guy would
Also,
taste
like,
like
super-
Skittles.
And this is what happens when
When Chris fucks up, that's
When
what
I fuck
happens. That's what happens.
when I fuck up and I don't maintain the computer, we cut out and we end up with a little gap right here, which is the first time in the year-long epic that has been this particular podcast.
I had a great question too.
So-
God damn it.
I think the computer got overloaded because I'm sure we can make a whole podcast on what sounds taste.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I had to stop and just delete a bunch of porn and get it off the computer.
He started imagining things, so that midget porn.
The FBI is on their way, by the way. Unrelated.
Oh, no, related comment.
So we'll go ahead and give Miss B a new question, and we'll go ahead and start from here.
So, do caterpillars know that they're about to be a butterfly, or are they just in the cocoon like, what the fuck is happening?
Oh my god.
So, like, this has kind of been proven to be a thing, like... No, they ran, like, tests on caterpillars that, like, turn into butterflies and shit.
I'm
Like,
there with you.
It stresses me out so much for some reason.
they
That's
did,
not-
like, electrical tests on these caterpillars to test and see if they still recognized the electricity after they turned into a butterfly. Because when they're in the cocoon, they liquefy.
Yeah.
They just they turn into goo and then they recreate themselves as
That's what
fucking...
happens when I sleep. I wrap myself in blankets and liquefy.
But,
Wet dreams.
these scientists ran a
They're
test...
called nocturnal emissions again.
Nocturnal emissions.
Let's be real. I'm never politically correct.
I'm just talking about.
The vernacular.
Continue about science.
These scientists ran a test on the caterpillars with, like, electric shocks to see if they would recognize them after they turned into a
Well,
butterfly,
it's
and
not
they
like
did.
it's a different person.
Yeah, no,
It's
like
just-
but they liquefy. They're nothing once they turn into the cocoon. Like, they're inside the cocoon. Like, they aren't what they used to be.
Right.
Like, everything just
Well, I feel
dissolves.
like, I want to give it let's give it 98% of the body. Definitely, like the body itself definitely breaks down, but I feel like what makes them, like whether it's like the nucleus or their brain, is still intact.
Like their nervous
you know what
system.
I mean? Yeah. Well, no, because that liquefies too. Like it completely recreates.
Yeah, but like, I imagine that wouldn't rearrange too much because like, it's literally
I feel like they absolutely know that is what's going to happen. Like I feel like they're conscious about what they're about to become.
We should try to do like a mirror test.
I
think
think
when you can tell, like, make your dog look in the mirror and see if it recognizes itself.
Oh, I gave my dog a haircut
pre
last
and
week.
post. And like, does the caterpillar still acknowledge itself in the mirror, or does it?
I gave my dog a fucking haircut last week. He doesn't recognize himself in the fucking mirror.
Who's that idiot with the bangs?
Why you breaking new animals?
He's been fucking yelling at himself for a week. It's
why you
so
breaking
annoying.
new animals?
Every
It's
time
like
I dye my
insect
hair, I do that.
transcendence.
Yeah.
Don't bring new animals.
No, but then again,
I told you about new animals.
when it comes to like the animal kingdom though, and like their instincts, you know, like just because like they do something doesn't necessarily mean why they know that they know why they did it. You know, like my like whales doing their migration patterns.
I think they're freaking out at that moment.
The question is, do they know they're about to become a butterfly, not why they're about to become a butterfly?
Yeah.
Well, I imagine that they do.
Exactly. I feel like these creatures are conscious enough to know that this is what they're about to become. Like, we write off these animals like they're not they're not self-aware in any way, shape, or form. Like, they're not actually intelligent beings. But
they're certainly aware of you.
we've been proven wrong on countless occasions.
I think it's so... The only animal that freak out about changes is the human being. When things when you think shit is falling apart, shit is just falling into place. It took me years to kind of know that, but I used to be the most nervous person you could ever think of. And I believe, because I've seen animals go through things, you know, like domestic animals, for example, that go through the whole, like, you see the kitties, like, puberty or whatever, when they're ready that they could get pregnant and all that. They're just chilling. We're the only ones who go crazy about changes.
Because we're like the only self-aware species. Like, as far as we know.
As far as we know. There are creatures I feel like
we have a self-identifying like consciousness and like can identify ourselves as a thing. Whereas like other animals are just like going through the motions. Like based on,
I mean,
it's
you've
literally
got gorillas that know sign language.
It's just pure reaction to stimuli.
Okay, this is it.
You've got, like, gorillas that know sign language. You've got dogs that fucking guide people everywhere they need to go, like, that get their groceries for them, that, like, know what their person needs.
There are parrots that can have full-on conversations.
Exactly.
Like, a lot of them think about, why the hell am I doing this? I just think they do it.
Yeah.
You know, this is what I am doing right now. There's not a lot of thought behind it. It's just
there's also no future or past tense in most animals' brains, either.
Yeah.
I believe they just go with the flow, probably as we should.
We should, but we don't because we overthink everything.
Because we have a future and past tense. That's what anxiety is.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem with humanity is that we look for everything outside of ourselves. That's why we have no balance with our own instinct. We look for everything we think it's outside of ourselves, and everything is really within ourselves. Mm-hmm. I think that's our problem. Probably if we looked it within, we probably will be able to just be chilling like cat going through her first time that, you know, she's ready to...
I looked within one time and I just screamed.
No, because like...
you got this haircut out of there.
Fucking mood.
Oh no, I'm not going back.
I think it's society all in itself which ruins people as a culture. Yeah. It's straight up society, because if you didn't have to wake up every day to do something, if you didn't have, like, if it was just, okay, go out, eat, you know what I mean? Go out, eat, sleep, fuck, that's it. Everybody would be happy. But no, you have to wake up in the morning, make sure you're on time, make sure you do your daily tasks.
Make sure you're wearing clothes while doing this.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Don't forget to shower.
You know what I mean?
Brush your tongue.
Fuck showering, you know what I mean? Like, just let's
be animal.
Let's go hop in the lake, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know if I'd be happy if I just said fuck it to showering. Because eventually
I don't know. I have hygiene's what's ruruining my life.
But no, my whole thing is.
No, I'm just kidding.
But like, if everybody smelled,
hygiene has
nobody
made it easier
smell.
to deal with mine. Actually,
What'd you say?
If everybody smelled, nobody would smell.
Well, yeah, the 1600s was probably like no one knew what was going on, even though the streets were covered in shit.
I think people were still diving in the river every once in a while.
If we went back in time, we would
No, they
immediately
still
be
had
like,
perfume and shit back then, so it was
I
basically
know.
just like unwashed ass and
Unwashed.
overdone perfume.
Yeah,
well, they also like they thought it was unsanitary to take a bath more than
Like-
once a month.
Any
They
club at
just
3
like-
o'clock in the morning in New
Yeah.
York.
but that's I really feel like it's society itself, which is why everybody's so like anxiety ridden, because we have this preset rule that we have to be this one thing, and we're not. You know what I mean? The same way you can't judge a goldfish by the way that it can climb a tree. You know, but like
I love that speech.
right, but you have to. Everybody has to be the same. You know what I mean? Technically, everybody does. You know, you can't just be that guy. Well, you can be homeless, but then what happens? You're judged. Like, yeah, no, I'm cool living in my tent in the woods. And they're like, oh, well, look at that smelly guy who's talking to himself.
Fucking hippie.
Because he doesn't have any friends.
Yeah.
You know?
Not
That's why you
necessarily
invite
that he doesn't
people
have
to
any
live.
friends. He
It
could
sounds
have
like-
animal friends in the
Sounds
woods.
like in the
Right, yeah.
narrative
More
you're
than likely.
building.
But you're talking to the squirrels, and people are like, why is this guy talking to the squirrels? They're my friends. Like, why do you have squirrel friends?
Yeah, right? Like, there was this guy
That
over in
guy's
the
the
North
happy-
Lawrence
So
Right.
Common.
I was with my squirrel fence at the mall the other day. And
Like, there was literally this guy that used to hang out every day. I don't know if he still does. I don't hang out there anymore. But he used to hang out every day over at the North Lawrence Common. And he'd bring a giant-ass bag of peanuts. And just... Pitta, and all the fucking squirrels in the park would come running to him.
Oh my god,
And, like,
so he's
I
like
would
the
just,
guy
like,
with,
hang out
from
with...
the woman from Mary Poppins, but
Yeah!
with squirrels.
Yeah, fucking, like, I would just, like, hang out with him
Chopping,
and, like, give squirrels
chopping,
peanuts and shit, and they'd, like, be crawling all over us, and, like, it was amazing!
Yeah. That. I'm gonna tell you this.
Sounds like
The-
capitalism is the center of all these problems.
It is.
Pretty much.
I believe so too. It's the whole idea that you have to become this to be part of the rest of your tribe. You have to reach a certain standard to be up there
You
with
have
them.
to. You have to contribute.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
Yeah, but if nobody gave a fuck about, like, if we didn't have to
But
be in
who-
a society, you know what I mean? Like,
Money is
Who
the root
judges
of all
what you're
evil.
contributing?
I
time.
would be totally fine if we just traded for shit the rest of our existence.
No, I don't think it's money. I
So
think
that
it's time.
cake,
Traded-
I have 2 chickens
Like this guy.
for that cake.
I'll absolutely take 2 chickens for a cake. Are you kidding me? Do you know how much shit I can get out of a fucking chicken?
You can
can
sell
make more
the
cake.
eggs and it's sustainable.
I can
for
keep
you.
the eggs.
I get 1 cake. and
I
then-
eat a lot of
and,
eggs.
Like once I eat that cake's gone. You're like, I can literally have a farmer's market.
Right?
Feels like you got
nice.
cheated just a little.
Yes,
on
well,
that
I'm
deal.
not very good at this. It's a new idea. I'm just coming out of the money.
But I love it.
Yeah, but
Anything but money.
everybody basically
resources.
will be trying to learn different skills that if they don't have a belonging that they could trade in, they could at least trade in a service. You look like you need your house painted. How about you give me some of those cabbages?
I've traded a service for an item or two.
Right, I'll suck that dick. You know what I'm saying?
He knows.
Hold on. Chris looks like he has to say something.
I would just. I put my question down because I feel like we've done about 25 minutes on.
Oh
these
my god,
questions.
what's your question? Let's.
Oh, no.
No,
Oh, no.
and now I feel like we left you out.
Well, we
did.
We
We
got
kinda
away from
did.
that question and started talking about society.
Yeah, we need to focus.
We have
That
been,
was
though.
I should
Probably-
bring
We've
Adderall
just
to
been
the
focusing
next
a little
one.
too much. No,
I feel
we'll
like
never
these,
get past one subject.
I feel like these cards just kind of amplified the ADHD of this particular podcast.
Right?
The particular podcasters.
We're not even talking
Don't
about what we're
appropriate
supposed
my
to be talking about.
diagnosis.
This podcast is brought to you by Nicolas Cage. Well, in all reality,
To be
Actually,
honest,
yeah,
nothing says Nicolas Cage like a whole bunch of us going out of focus
Right.
in 100
Right.
different directions at all times today.
I feel like this particular question, like we can get through in like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
very
let's
quick.
like set a timer for ourselves.
Right. Literally, just create a band name using a color and something you could buy at the store.
Red
That's it.
stapler.
There you go.
Maybe.
I've been down the bed.
It's just an entire band of names.
purple toothpick.
Red stapler.
Purple toothpick.
Green
I like
milk
black,
carton.
black spam.
Fuchsia notebook.
There you go.
Come on, we set a time limit. No.
A color and something you could buy at the store.
Emerald anima.
There you go.
Oh my god.
Sounds like like the best punk rock
He
band
might have
ever.
just fucking did something there.
Scarlet Summer's Eve.
Scarlet Summer's
That actually
Eve.
sounds like a drag name. That doesn't
Yeah.
sound like that doesn't sound like a band name.
Coming to the stage to perform
Ladies
Diana
and
Ross
gentlemen.
as Scarlet Summer's Eve.
Scarlet Summer's Eve.
Nah, I like probably green something.
Green
Whatever
douche.
green douche.
Green douche.
All right.
Ugh.
No.
A lot of orifice-related cleaning products in one go.
No, we could do green dryer sheets.
Well, we could
Green
do
dryer
orange
sheets.
ear swab since we're still on the holes.
Yeah, green. Well, yeah. I mean, the dryer is a hole. We're still in
Technically.
holes. Not
What?
a dryer is a hole.
A
It's
dryer
still a
is a
hole.
hole.
Yeah.
Where do you
So
put the
you gonna
clothes?
throw
It's a
things
warm
in-
hole too.
It is a
So,
warm hole. It's
Quite fuckable.
Black
it's
candle.
just a depends if
Black
you
candle.
Black candle.
Black flame.
black candle.
Yes! Yes!
Virgin.
Black what? Black what?
I said black flame candle.
Black
Hocus pocus.
flame.
Hocus pocus.
No, we're good.
Yep.
I got one more
Right
question.
down
And we'll
to
bring
the
it back
day.
to one of our first podcasts. Would you rather finger your mom or your dad?
I'm
been
good,
fin-
I'm
I've
wrong,
been
I'll
fingered
kill
by both of
myself.
them, so it's really hard to say.
Which one would you rather finger? Them?
I don't know. That's Tromeo.
Who would I rather return the favor to is really what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's really what the
Well,
question.
my dad was gentler.
Okay. Alright. So you could be rough.
Well,
Oh
his
my
hands were, but his touch was. You know what I mean? It was a balance.
Sweet home Alabama.
Okay.
Sweet.
I'm checking out.
Alabama.
So let's we've gotten to past the getting to know you portion here, and we're gonna go. We're gonna go ahead and dive into Nick Cage.
Dive articulate.
I'm good on diving into Nick Cage.
How about no?
So this is sort of our Nick Cage free for all. Everybody was supposed to go out and at least watch one movie. I think I
Chris
was.
watched all of them.
I watched all of them. Actually, it was rather difficult to think about watching all of them. There was a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot.
He's like if John Cusack sucked.
If you don't watch,
Yeah, because he's very expressive too.
if you go and I'm actually
It's
really sorry that
over-expressive.
we could not bring Miss Peyton here today, so I'm just going to mention what she said to me. She goes, I would go ahead and watch Nick Cage movies. She goes, but Nick Cage's face makes me want to punch a baby.
Who's
I
that?
feel like it doesn't take a lot to get that violent of a response out of her.
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure she's like, if she was in a maternity ward.
I bet if
baby,
you passively dared her to punch a baby, she would do it.
Who's that? Who are we talking about?
Peyton.
Oh yes, yes, definitely. I love Peyton.
Did
She probably would.
Did anybody here have the time to watch that link that I sent to you guys?
She probably like.
Did you send me that one?
I
You sent me
think
the
I-
articles.
I sent you the articles. I may not have sent the link to you.
Way to
one?
include me.
Which one?
Uh,
You've sent like 8 links over the week.
I sent out a link for Nicolas Cage's first acting performance, which was actually in a TV show
Okay.
alongside of Crispin Glover. He was basically
Oh my God.
sort of a jock of sorts.
I don't think I saw it. I saw the link, but I don't think I watched
Oh,
it.
I'm so sorry that you have not seen that.
What
It's-
show was it?
It looks terrible.
It was called The Best of Times. It was sort of like a teen variety show. It was very distracting trying to watch this show because literally the entire show from back to front was like little one-liners.
Make it big. Big hands.
That's what she said.
Are you watching it now?
Yeah.
There's 45 minutes of it. It's
Right, yeah.
No, I mean,
They're
I'm
just taking a quick
I
little
just want to
peek.
see.
I mean, while they take their peek, and then we'll discuss that again after.
so this is back when he was still going
Yeah.
by Nicholas Coppola as opposed to
Oh my
Nick
god,
Cage.
he looks like a lesbian.
He does. Who wants an antique store?
So there.
Hi, yes, my name is Ethel. Welcome to Ethel's Antiques.
We have a
Alright.
few pre-war pieces.
Yeah, wow. I
Yeah.
feel. Now I'm officially informed, so.
Right.
Yeah. He also looks like brunette
that is
Jeffrey
painful to
Dahmer.
look at.
Oh.
Yeah. Look at him.
No, yeah, I see see him.
A brunette Jeffrey Dahmer?
He reminded me of Jeffrey Dahmer when
Oh
I looked
my
at
God.
him just now. When I looked at him just now?
Who would you rather have fuck you after drilling a hole in your head? Like,
True.
Which of them? Yeah.
True. The one who's, experienced in...
The one
The
who's
art.
better at it.
Yeah.
I'd rather
I'm
have
pretty
a
sure
bottle in
Nicolas
front of me than a
Cage has
funnel with
done
water.
everything.
I'm sure after the fact it isn't going to matter.
When you're like drooling on yourself and not yourself anymore.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it would go.
At that point, you don't have the
hole
ability
is
to
a
care
hole.
who's fucking you where.
Oh, drilling what hole where neither.
I could be a dryer for all I know.
There you go.
The one hole
caterpillar
that happens to be in my
cocoon.
head.
What's gonna happen next?
I'm liquefied and I don't know what I'm gonna do after this.
You're just gonna,
Liquefied.
The caterpillar!
you're just gonna be a fuckbox. You're not gonna become a caterpillar. I'm sorry.
A what?
That's what my
fuck
daddy
box.
calls
A
it.
fuck box.
Jeffrey
That's
Dahmer's
great.
I'm just a
fuckbox.
hole, sir.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I could sit and watch a whole thing through that version of Nick Cage. The version we know already is bad enough. That one.
I was gonna say, like, why is it different?
So I guess the one we know about is bad enough. That one was pretty.
I didn't think
No.
Nicolas Cage could possibly get any worse
You
than
know
he
what I
is.
love about Nicolas Cage
Yeah.
is his hair journey.
Oh my god.
I will say though, with Nicolas Cage, like he has some like really great movies. In my eyes.
What do you mean?
Okay, so
Snake Eyes was an amazing movie. One of my favorite.
The movies
from
were
Nicolas
good.
Cage.
the
Uh,
movie
It was
Face Off
just
was
badly
Gone in
acted.
60 Seconds.
Wow.
See, that was a
He
great
chooses
plot.
great movies. He just
The acting and just Nicolas Cage, it would have been great. Or
If it was like
so
Pier-
much better if it
Pierce
was anybody
Brosnan.
but Nicolas Cage.
Well, yeah, I think he played a real like. Have you guys seen the movie Snake
Like if it was
Eyes?
John Cusack.
No.
I think he's overacting.
I watched it.
Just
Yeah.
take any Nick
I
Cage
love
and
that
replace
movie.
him
I
with
thought
John
it was a
Cusack
great
and suddenly it's a
movie.
good
You know what I
movie.
mean? But I feel like he
Yes!
played that character
Except
great.
National Treasure.
Okay, so let's start first.
The
Just to kinda get a little
overcompensating
more.
with the acting
That-
is
that-
what
yeah.
fucks it up.
Nicolas Cage is
We're gonna go in reverse order, starting with Miss B here.
You would not make the movie.
Reverse.
Of the movies that you've seen of Nicolas Cage over the years, which would be your favorite and least favorite?
Oh god. I can't choose because I just hate him.
Well, I mean, so the best of the worst of the
Okay.
worst of the worst.
So
you know,
like I liked
For
the
you.
plot.
The least worst of the worst.
I liked the plot for like Gone in 60 Seconds and Next. I just can't do it with the acting. It's just so bad.
The overacting.
Yeah. But
Okay.
oh. Any movie with him in long like shoulder length hair is just the worst.
It's like
so Con Air, you know.
Con Air.
Yeah, like
it's like the Da Vinci Code with Tom Hanks. Like when his hair was like, why? What is going on?
why are you doing
I
this?
feel like I need an adult.
I just he looks so crusty with long hair, bro.
He does. He looks like a guy that would follow you on the subway.
He looks like
to
any of
see
my
what
friends-
stop you got off on.
He looks like any of the people I hung out with in Harvard Square when I was homeless.
That paints
Wow.
a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that explains it.
Just about.
Did any of them ever drag you on a hunt through like national landmarks?
My ex.
National land.
Was he one of those people?
He was one of those people.
Did you find any treasure?
No, I got pregnant.
Well, that
That's a
sounds
treasure.
very
Treasure.
illuminating.
I mean, that is kind of
That
a treasure,
is
but the
what
person
you
that
are.
I got pregnant with, I just can, yeah.
When I was born, my mom said, "Oh, what a treasure!" And my dad said, "Good, let's bury it."
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Unrelated, no.
But, no, I watched, like, this week I watched, The Weatherman
Okay.
and Ghost Rider. And I feel like, yeah, I know.
Like night and day for movies there.
Yeah,
Like if a
exactly.
video
You know,
game was a
I feel like
movie.
Ghost Rider. I feel like Ghost Rider is how he thinks the world sees him, how he sees himself.
I love that.
And the Weatherman
That's
is how
so
the world
good.
actually sees him and how he actually is.
The weatherman
Bro.
was crazy.
Nick Cage, if you're watching,
Sorry, not sorry, bro.
The next few therapy sessions are on us.
Like, okay, so my boyfriend showed me this fucking video of him on a talk show where he did the most half-assed fucking somersault into the stage and then starts pulling out pocket change and throwing it into the crowd. And
Pocket
it's just
change?
so...
Yeah.
He like dollar bills.
Actually, it's funny that you say that because did you know he actually tipped strippers in rolls of quarters?
He's Canadian.
How? What does he... Nah, I don't want to know now.
So
Why you took it to this?
If you have to ask, you already know.
He's such a
How
pompous
so why do you do this
douchebag.
to me?
He's such a pompous douchebag, yo. Like, how is he a person?
Hashtag more famous than me. Hashtag more famous than me.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's true.
Apparently, we just gotta be pompous douchebags.
Oh, one
I've
of
been
my
trying,
friends,
and it's not getting me fucking shit.
It
one of my
It hasn't
friends
helped
saw
you,
you
right?
at the 99.
Yes.
And she was like, "Is this the guy you're on the podcast with?" I'm like, "Yeah," even though he's hardly been on lately.
Yeah, I was
Oh my god,
saying
a
that.
fan recognized you? That's big.
Right? That's a thing.
Yes, it is.
No one recognizes me from the podcast. They recognize me from TikTok. But
They recognize me.
Yeah, like I was sitting there, they asked me about it, like, "Oh, you're on the podcast?" And I was like, "Yeah, and I tried talking to them, and I was like, "Yeah,
And you get a pen?
They start
I told
quoting
them
all
that
the ones you
you're a
weren't
designated
on.
douchebag.
yeah." Like me and her were like talking, and like her boyfriend was just like, "Yeah, you know, I'm the." I want some ribs or something. I forget what they ordered. But like, come on, like, get me my drink. You know?
The guy got all annoyed that she recognized you from a podcast.
Yeah.
Reese is just like fucking, "Oh my god, you're on my
I would have been like,
podcast." And her boyfriend's just like, "Can we fucking just..."
Like I'm here
Move
to
on.
eat, not talk about the fucking podcast. Let's go.
I'm conducting a meet
I
and
love
greet right
Parisi
now.
so
You can
much.
respect that.
Right.
That's my best friend.
You wanna make her start talking about your ED, sir?
So I can sign your menu for you and then take it.
Yeah.
You can get out, and me and Harold. I'll hey guys, cut me.
Yeah.
I love
Here's
her.
some fucking popcorn.
Yeah, exactly. Shut your fucking face.
Shut the fuck up.
Go back to my podcast. Yeah.
Now back to me and my fame.
No, but I was
That's a
telling
good
her-
way of being Nick Cage.
I mean, I should have. No, but like, you know, I was telling her though, like, because like I work so much over there, like, I like working, I like being there, but
Yeah.
you know, some
Shit
days,
happens.
yeah, some days like, you know, it'll be my day off, and you guys want to get together at 10 o'clock in the morning. It's like, well, the only day I went out last week was Saturday night. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, let's wake up at 9, and I'm like, I went to bed at 9.
I've seen a couple of Nick Cage interviews, and I've always feel like he's trying to pull off things that we found humorous on other people. Like you remember Robert Loggia doing his own voice on Family Guy? Was it Family Guy? Oh my God, it's
I'm
Robert
Robert
Loggia.
Loggia.
I'm Robert Loggia. Robert Loggia.
He's trying
I
to
feel
act
Nick
as
Cage
like
is-
a new version of himself, basically.
Sorry, I just had that realization. He's the friend that, like, when he, like, dissolves from the friend group and, like, moves to another city, he,
And
like,
recreates
takes
his
all...
fucking
Yeah! Except you're in the public eye, so you can't get away with it. Like...
It's like when you're, for example, a charming asshole. You could pull a certain asshole moves, except he's not charming.
I was gonna say, you've heard the shit that I've said to people.
And you heard the shit that I said to people. But
But it's all in the chart.
But this guy is really just an asshole somehow.
It just falls flat.
And there's exactly like it comes across as the pompous asshole.
I like how this turned from let's judge this let's talk about his movies to like let's judge him as a person.
Well, I mean,
This episode should be the roast of Nick Cage.
It is.
Even roasts are like kind of more lighthearted than this. This is just
right? They're jokes. Where
I'm
like,
over here just in the
shitting on
corner
his
pleading the fifth.
It's not
I
like
made you
his
guys watch the
lawyers are
movies.
listening.
No, they're not.
They could be.
Like I said,
I rewatched.
They're not gonna go to
They go
him.
Taylor
With
Swift
it.
us and sue us for fucking...
You've
No,
already
like
said
I
too
said,
much.
there's a few movies I think he's done well.
Don't use the word red.
Oh my god.
There's a few movies, and I think because of the overacting, one movie that he did well in was Face Off.
Well, of course, with Face
Oh my
Off, 'cause-
god.
But that's about it.
Fredo was just talking to me about that, saying how bad it was.
The
Because
movie's
it's a
crazy.
ridiculous concept.
It's
It is.
I didn't watch it.
It's
The whole
completely
overacting
different
kind
people
of
trying to be the complete opposite person. You know what I mean?
One
I
guy
think
fucks the
John
other guy's
Travolta-
wife while he's got the other guy's face.
Yeah, well, it's John Travolta trying to be Nicolas Cage and Nicolas Cage being John Travolta. You know what I mean? It was a perfect movie for Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, it's like
to pretend to be
Freaky Air
somebody else.
Friday.
Yeah.
This is the thing, and they did that like through surgery. They switch faces basically, and that's the only movie I could think that matches his whatever the hell is wrong with him.
His aesthetic.
His mental-
His aesthetic. that would be a good way to call it.
Nicolas Cage is a robot that's just been programmed with like different people's personalities.
Like in Men in Black, and there's just like a tiny alien in his forehead.
Yeah, something like that. One movie for him, and any movie from Nicolas Cage I've enjoyed, it hasn't been because of Nicolas Cage. It's weird. For example,
Is it weird?
Is it though?
is that weird?
Yeah, I do.
No, I love like Live in Las Vegas because I always had a crush on Elizabeth Shue, for example. I love her. So I enjoyed that movie because I also watched Nick Cage
Her
in this
left or
movie.
right one.
What?
Elizabeth Shue.
Elizabeth Shue. Yeah. I like it.
Question.
You gave it to me.
It's a little bit off from Nicolas Cage. It's definitely off from Nicolas Cage. But in Men in Black, when the alien like stabs like the thing in the neck, and then you find out that it's a robot. Why did the alien die?
The alien was dying anyway.
The alien was dying on the way out.
He was ill or something. There was something about
That-
that.
Yeah,
that has
the alien
to
was
be
on the way out.
No, like they like established that there's like background to it.
Okay, all right, because like
Yeah.
I'm like
From what I remember,
Yeah, 'cause
I haven't seen that movie in forever.
no,
but,
the
like,
movie-
I think they were talking about it like.
say anything. They find out that the face opens. They open up the face, and he's like,
The galaxy
Like,
around.
yeah,
Yeah,
but like he's like ancient.
But
No,
that
he-
alien
he
you
was a
talking about,
prince.
the
He was a
galaxy in
prince,
Orion's
like-
belt.
Oh, really?
yeah, they
Okay.
got mad because the
I like that
the
you
Earth
know
was
his
getting
like,
its
political role.
Let me tell you
he was
this.
a prince, and like he was the guardian of the galaxy, and
Careful.
so
Very lightly.
But yeah, he's the protector of the galaxy,
Okay.
and like the Earth is going to be destroyed if the galaxy isn't returned,
Right.
because we allowed a prince to be killed on our soil.
I didn't think he was that big of a. I literally.
Right,
I haven't seen this since I was like 12.
But
so
my-
I'm not.
yeah, but
I'm not going to argue.
My whole thing is just
about
like,
how that happened. Then
You know,
how
now that
did he
we're
die,
talking about.
like, if he's a robot.
Now when we're
That's
talking
it.
about Men in Black, I find it weird that Nicolas
unless
Cage
it was like a
wasn't ever
symbiotic
anything on it.
relationship, like the
Was he
robot.
one of the aliens on the screen at
Well,
one point?
I mean,
Nicolas Cage?
essentially,
Michael Jackson was.
Oh yeah, he was.
essentially, this robot was supposed to be his spaceship or whatever he was going around in, right?
Yeah.
So if they destroyed
His
the robot,
transportation.
wouldn't they have also destroyed the life support that would have allowed him to breathe our atmosphere?
I was
Yeah.
gonna say like.
Why? But like,
It could have been like a symbiosis kind of thing where like he is like, but there's like biotechnology like with the robot that has to do with the fact.
yeah, but like, okay, Men in Black knew what species he was. They were talking to him. Why weren't they just like, hey, let's get this guy, like, let's put him in a tank. You know what I mean? Like,
You know who would
The
have?
car drove upside down in a tunnel. You're questioning this one aspect of not making sense.
yes,
All right, I guess it's your opinion.
really.
Here's you know Nicolas Cage should have played that guy that was the farmer dude that was abusing his wife, and then like the cockroach. Yeah, that would have. He would have.
Oh, okay. The one that Vincent D'Onofrio played.
It's weird that
Why
Nicolas
do
Cage never got
random
any
people
type
know
of
his
role
name?
in one of those movies.
So funny. Like people, anytime I like am with a group of people and that character comes up, they name the actor who played him, and I'm like, why do people know?
I don't know. Why would anybody? It's true though.
But like I've had this happen multiple times where people are just like, oh yeah, him.
But you know, it's weird that Nicolas Cage never played anything. He would have done like some kind of crazy alien in that movie, just perfect.
Can we just talk about how he named his son Kal-El?
Kal-El.
Superman.
Like Superman?
Yeah.
Well,
Played
Yeah.
He did that?
Yeah, he named one of his sons fucking Kal-El.
Do you know why? Because
Because he's a douchebag?
on top of the fact that when he got that kid's mom pregnant, he's Superman that hoe.
Superman at home.
Oh my god!
No, but he played Superman.
Superman.
The long hair.
he was going to be Superman. They canned
Listen.
his movie.
Oh,
No, he didn't.
Yes.
He did no such thing.
You could see him in suit.
Christopher Reeves was still alive and
He
went,
was-
no, you don't.
Okay.
Exactly.
So there was supposed to be a movie called Superman Lives
Yeah.
that starred Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
As
and everyone at their
Superman.
grandmother was like, no, fuck that.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
It got buried.
Yeah,
And,
Yeah, because it would have been a fucking
I mean, I support the decision of
disgrace
it
to the
getting.
name of Superman.
I support that decision, but I didn't know that.
Go check his filmography. At about the time that they canned that movie and took it away from him, he did like 5 movies a year since then.
Can anybody check the YouTube, see if there's anything somewhere about that? Like, show him.
I got a
Yeah,
whole ass
they-
laptop, bro.
No,
I
like
got you.
100%. Look up Nicolas Cage as Superman. They have him in a suit.
They
and
have an entire documentary film based off of this whole thing, just
I didn't know.
everything. But
the shit hitting the fan
They
for this
spent,
movie.
I have
Oh,
considered.
that is painful to look at.
I have considered naming my child.
Can I see
Jor-El.
that?
Oh, God.
I have considered if I have a son to name him Jor-El.
Hell,
Jor-El?
fuck no.
No.
You gotta get
That
his
doesn't
son
even
and your
go
son
together.
together then.
No.
Yeah, it's just,
That looks
That-
copied and
that-
pasted.
that's
That
real.
looks photoshopped.
It's like a
not-
mixed match couple as one person.
Yeah.
Now they're all looking at a picture of Nicolas
It's
Cage in
terrible.
the
It's so
uniform.
bad. That's a mood.
Yeah.
That man's
That guy
face
right
is a
there, he's
mood.
like, that's him calling it. He's like, we can't go on.
We
Let
can't
me see
do
the
this.
face.
We're
Let
done.
me see the face.
That's a wrap, guys.
Yeah, pretty
Yep.
much.
Yeah,
No, we can't.
I told you about this.
He's like, I have
I've seen all
I
the
don't think
pictures.
I have
that's, I don't
newspaper
think that's the
clippings
one
on my
though.
wall.
I don't think that's the one. There's one of him like this.
He's
Suits
like,
like
so I guess
one
we're
that you
really
buy at
doing this shit,
Walmart.
huh?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking.
I know what you're talking about, yeah. That was more of a spoof than anything else. I know
The guy had this face
So
like,
bad.
I guess we're really doing this shit, huh?
That well, they tried.
You were like, this might have like credibility if it was just a cheesy porno, but
It's almost like Tom Hiddleston on crack trying to be Superman.
no, he'd be
Listen,
skinnier.
I've
than he
seen
is
porn
now.
proofs
Yeah,
of
you're
Superman
right.
that, and I haven't even seen his acting on it,
You're
and I'm
right.
sure the porn
Speaking of
proofs
Men in
did
Black,
better.
though.
Alright, so
When I saw you flying in the red suit,
okay, I have
Okay, I'm done with that.
I was saying that there are porn proofs
Don't
of
mind me, I'm
Superman,
just
and I'm
gonna
sure
hop-
the
yeah, I was
actors
just
did
looking at
better. What happened?
Superman.
That was a screen test.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
that shouldn't be allowed to happen. Ever.
His suit's about as sparkly as Edward Cullen's skin.
What the hell?
Shine bright like a diamond.
I'm telling you, the porn proofs did better. That just no. And I
Superman's
didn't even see the
outfit
acting.
should not have
Like,
sequins.
if Superman Lives came out, the porno would have been Superman fucks.
Superman gets fucked.
Superman lives.
Superman does Dallas.
You're like, oh, that's an idea.
in a different.
I never
universe.
thought of him as the bottom, but whatever.
Nicolas Cage played him.
He just lifts up his cape. He's like, come at it.
Come here, Mr.
Alright.
Luther.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
Any other films in particular you guys would condemn for Nick's?
All of them?
Let me
Cage.
pull up IMDb real quick so I can name them individually.
Individually?
No, who would you replace Nicolas Cage with in National Treasure?
No.
Would I replace him
Samuel
with?
L. Jackson.
You don't understand. You would just not make the movie.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence, motherfucker.
Robin Williams.
Robert Downey Jr.
Robert
Yes!
Downey Jr. would have done
Absolutely!
way better.
That would be amazing.
That would actually be good.
Yeah.
Fuck. I'm annoyed.
Antonio Banderas.
Even
Yeah.
Tom Hanks.
And we are going to steal the Declaration of Independence.
Why not?
Deport him.
Yes, my
Trump
love.
administration would be on that fucking...
Yeah, he walks in like the
He was
second.
on the stage.
Yeah, the second like a man of Latin descent walks into a like
Stealing.
A government
into
building.
a government building after hours. It's like, how are there not like SWAT teams?
The brooms over there,
And ice.
senor, the janitor's closet's over there. Like
Hey,
they'd be able to steal it even easier.
Around the time that the original National Treasure
They'd be able to steal it even easier.
came out, Heath Ledger was still around, right?
Yes.
No,
I don't see.
I think he was... Hang on.
Yeah.
2000
Not for the
I
sequel.
gotta get off Sims.
2007.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
that
think
was
about it.
so. That movie was like 2004 maybe. And Heath
I got
Ledger
you.
died in like 2007.
We're
Both-
comparing-
Both of those could be wrong.
2004.
Wait.
You were right about 2004 for
2004.
National Treasure.
All right, 1 for 1, 1 for 2.
Now, 2007 was the other date we threw out there.
2008.
Ooh.
January 2008. Very
So he would have been around.
Yep.
The day before Heath Ledger died, I watched I watched 10 Things I Hate About You for the first time. I literally saw it and I went, I need to watch this for some reason, and then I found out the next day why.
My
You know the
heart.
reason he died?
Hmm?
If you didn't watch that movie, he wouldn't have died? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying
I think so.
I feel like he's saying
was-
he needed to watch that movie before he died to get a feeling of
It's also
like who he was
the
outside
night
the
before
Joker.
the night before my mom died, I told
Such
her
a
I loved
great
her.
Joker.
So sometimes you just
Oh wait,
know.
that movie came out long after,
Sometimes you just
didn't
know.
it?
What?
Dark Knight.
Dark Knight? After he passed away?
Dark Knight.
Hold
No,
on.
because
I want to say it was shortly... Yeah, because
It was the same
it
year.
was before he passed away. Because shortly after he passed away, the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus came out.
Yeah, something like that.
They had to replace him with like 6 other
There were
actors.
like 3 different people. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was crazy. And none of them were Nick Cage.
Huh.
No.
Release date July 18,
That helps.
2008
He's still jaded over
for The
that.
Dark Knight.
He's
Yeah.
also a little pissed off that John Malkovich
I
got
didn't
that
realize
one
that.
role.
I thought he died after.
No,
Being
like,
John
he
Malkovich.
died
He's still
after
mad that
the
he
movie
didn't
was
get
filmed.
Johnny
Yeah,
Depp's
but no, but
role
I thought
in
he,
the
like-
remake of
Like,
Willy
he was
he
in the
died
works
after,
to-
like,
yeah,
the
he was in the
show.
works
I'll
to
tell you
make
this. I
another
feel
one.
he's pissed off about a lot of things because this is all these personas that he has tried to be but couldn't pull it off.
I just thought
Here's a tougher question. Is there any movie that would have been improved
All
with
of them?
with Nick
Are
Cage's
you reading my mind?
performance?
Yes. That's literally what just happened in my brain. I was just like, what about?
Yeah.
What would have been more entertaining to watch if Nick Cage
Not
was
necessarily
involved?
better, but more entertaining.
What is
Yeah, I'm
that?
not saying better.
Yeah.
What is that
Live in Las Vegas.
fucking
Where Robert Downey
movie that you
Jr.
and me watched?
Twins.
I can't think of his name.
God.
Instead of Danny
Twins,
DeVito.
but
I
he
don't care
insists
which
on playing both
I don't
roles.
care which he replaces. Yeah.
Fuck. Goonies guy. I can't think of his name.
Corey Feldman?
Corey Feldman. Yeah, the Corey Feldman movie you and me watched where he was the dead rock star.
Oh.
That might have been more entertaining without Corey Feldman in it,
Yeah, like Nicolas Cage.
It was this horrible little thing that they did on Netflix. It was like 30 minutes long. We played some dead rock star that was getting revenge on all these people that supposedly dead, pretended to die.
No, he died.
Did he die?
But like he brought himself back
Brought
with like
back.
some black magic.
I scrubbed pretty much the entire thing from my head.
But it
because
would have been
horrible.
improved with Nicolas Cage being the rock star's.
Meh. Romeo and Juliet.
It makes
No! No! Are you kidding? I don't want to see his dick! The fuck?
If Trump,
I don't want to see his face, let alone the rest of his body. Oh my god!
I feel like he
Robin
Why
Hood
did you
Men in
say
Tights.
that?
I feel like
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Instead of which character though? Where are we putting him?
Fucking pick one.
he could be Little John.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I'd replace him with Richard Lewis, the guy that played
Yes.
the Sheriff of Nottingham.
Yes. Okay. I take that.
Make him the bad guy.
Or actually, another thought, the Princess Bride, but like Wallace Shawn's character. Imagine him walking around just saying, inconceivable.
Hostile.
Snakes on a plane.
Oh my god!
No, you shut your mouth. Never.
No, you cannot. Well, no,
I,
we're not saying it would be better.
would
it would
ruin
just
that
be
movie.
entertaining.
Is that what you're saying?
Because
I would devalue that movie.
Because the best part of that movie was Samuel L. Jackson saying,
That these
"I'm sick of
motherfucking-
No, made the whole movie.
The motherfucking
Well, right.
snakes on
It's
this
like the I See
motherfucking
Dead
plane.
People of that movie.
Yeah, but if you see fucking what's his face, Nicolas Cage
Sixth
on there.
Sense. But Haley Joel Osment's character.
I see dead people.
Hiding under the covers.
Yeah,
He
you're,
like plays like that age child.
Yeah, you're
Like,
fun
no,
as
you know
for
what?
no reason.
I
He
don't
will
think
look
his
like
acting
this saying
skills
this
that
too.
good.
Like,
Really?
Yeah, like fucking.
I see dead people.
What's his fucking name?
Bruce
James
Willis.
McAvoy or whatever.
McAvoy.
McAvoy. Fucking.
In Split?
He did a fucking amazing job portraying himself as a child. Nicolas Cage could not fucking do that well.
I don't think he could.
Well, You have to have had a childhood.
CGI.
I just imagine, based on how he is as a person,
Yeah, like
that
he
he's
doesn't.
compensating for a lot that he missed.
Yeah,
So
he doesn't look like the kind of person who got like a childhood.
May probably never
it's
got
like
the
Macaulay
roast of
Culkin, but we
Nicolas
don't really
Cage.
know about it.
Pretty much.
Yes. Oh my god.
Guys, remember throwing some garlic powder on Nicolas Cage while we're roasting him.
Right?
I heard he's a vampire. He might not like that.
Yeah.
Onions.
Vampire's Kiss. Has anybody seen this?
No.
Nope.
Is that a Nicolas Cage movie?
That was a Nicolas Cage movie. Early Nicolas Cage.
You
Actually-
should get my
I thought so.
undying hatred for him.
I hope and I can at some point on imagine Nicolas Cage saying he sees dead people.
There's a handful of movies that
I'm sure
I
he said
liked
it
him
once or
in,
twice.
honestly. I liked Raising Arizona. That was a really good movie.
It was.
And he played a dumbass throughout the entire movie, which honestly...
I guess it lends itself.
Whoa.
it fit. Anyway.
This
That's
kid's
what she
glasses
said.
just fucking kill me.
I'm sorry, we have the best of times playing in the background now.
Wow.
While we talk about the worst of times.
We're having the best of times talking about the worst of times.
Best part of the show, by the way, is
birth
Nick
name?
Cage busted when they all bust out into this musical
Did we know that?
thing, and Nick Cage takes the time to pull a comb out of his back pocket and play the comb.
Oh my god.
Yeah, couple scenes later, he's in overalls with a cowboy hat, no shirt.
His
I'm
birth
good
name?
on seeing that.
His birth name, who's ready for this, Jelly? Nicholas Kim Coppola.
Oh my god.
Coppola, yeah, of course. He's
Coppola.
related to Francis Ford.
He is?
I think he's his nephew, Francis Ford Coppola.
Those are okay, I was like, those
Oh,
are
I
different.
can tell you what role he could have played.
It's like when like Anderson Cooper's like everyone's like he's a Vanderbilt, and I'm like no, he's a Cooper.
So he's I know a role he could have played. He could have been that horse that they cut the head off in The Godfather. Just Nick Cage head on that guy's bed and the guy's going,
I think he was I don't think he
Why
was.
he hates
He was a child.
yeah.
then, at best. You're gonna have some little kid's head cut off in the bed.
What the fuck?
I don't hate Nicolas Cage, but I do think he's a bad actor. I really don't care for him.
No, I
So,
hate him.
I don't know him
He
well
is
enough
such
to
a-
hate him, but I don't think I'd like him if I did.
From like the interviews
I'm sure I
and like
wouldn't like him if I knew
the
him.
way he's like shown outside of like acting and shit, like he's such a pompous fucking douchebag, yo.
But what if
He
we
is.
replaced all of
I mean, you could say the same
what's
thing
his
about
face?
me if
Why
you.
am I fucking? I'm so your fault for spilling my Red Bull.
So you've read how he
Um,
explains his
Tom Cruise. We can replace all of Tom Cruise's movies with Nicolas Cage, and all of Nicolas Cage's movies with Tom Cruise.
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
You can't handle the truth.
I don't think he could. I don't think.
I think
he
his
could
facial
handle
would
the
be
impossible.
truth.
Nicolas Cage was in a movie called Inconceivable.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
recently, yes. You're,
What the fuck?
That's
so you're
fucked
not
up.
that far off.
That's so weird.
He was disappointed.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
That's. I'm gonna throw up.
There he is.
I don't like this.
Doesn't he
So-
look like a nerdy lesbian?
You don't.
He does.
He's gone on record.
Look at those-
Oh, poor guy. Oh,
Like a female PE teacher.
What is that?
literally.
Is that a missing tooth or is it just a gap?
I guess.
He
Sorry,
looks like-
he looks like I'm going to say this.
He looks
he
like a
looks
female
like
PE teacher.
he
I
looks
had
like-
a PE teacher, that Miss Iola, who looked like him.
Probably related to him and Coppola.
I hope not.
The thing is if like your teeth. Look
I
like
was
that,
going to
why
say he
you
looks like Sandra Bernhard had a baby with a rat.
Oh, what?
I like Sandra Bernhard. Don't get me wrong.
Well, everyone does.
But had a baby with a rat.
Like Chuck E. Cheese, like the
Does-
80s version of Chuck E.
Yeah.
Cheese.
I was thinking more like
Look at
the rat from
He's such a
Ratatouille.
douchebag.
But
Oh my god.
The rat from Ratatouille is
over-exaggerated
kinda
nose. Just over-exaggerated
Over-exaggerated.
animated nose. Look at the nose there.
It's his real nose.
Cute. Or, no,
It's not animated.
the Commodore from the Muppets.
I'm sorry that it is.
You know what
Right.
I'm talking about?
Right?
The guy from the Muppets?
Yes.
Has he even done any voiceover stuff like for animated films?
Yes.
Yes.
He was in G-Force.
He was in the Croods.
Oh yeah.
He was.
He
I
was
didn't
in
watch
G-Force,
that.
The Croods. It was only a couple, not a lot.
Oh, but like his voice acting in the Cruise.
Wow, he's in a movie coming out this year
Like-
called Pig.
So
So,
he's
But,
gone
What's the name of
on.
the movie?
Pig.
Sounds like
He has
him.
gone on record to explain his acting style as German Expressionism,
Oh my god.
Western Kabuki, and Nouveau Shamanic.
Cocky.
Nouveau Shamanic.
How about
Nouveau
Kick-Ass?
Shamanic. Shaman.
He played the father in
Don't
Kick-Ass.
squeeze the
Oh
Shamanic.
yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Wasn't
that was a
that-
great fucking movie.
That was a great role for
I
him.
completely forgot he was in
Me
that. That's how
too.
good of a movie it was.
But he played like a shitty father.
I
That's what he played.
stand corrected,
You know what I
like-
mean? It was a good movie with him.
Yeah, that was a great fucking movie with Nicolas Cage. Completely forgot that existed.
Boom!
Have you-
Shattered your world.
Have you seen Mom and
Mind
Dad?
blown. Have I seen
Mom and Dad?
No.
Him and Selena, not Selena. Oh God, what is her name? From shit.
Do 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 do.
From shit.
No,
I know
my
her.
brain is just not working right now. God damn it! She was in that the movie that had
What's
I
the
don't know what
music?
you're talking
Cue
about.
the Jeopardy music.
not Renee either.
Wind Talker.
Reese Witherspoon was in it.
Sweet Home Alabama.
No, not at all. Jeez,
I know.
I'm glad
just
that he
naming
didn't
good
play that
movie.
role. My brain, I just had a complete brain fart.
This is hard.
Selma Blair? Is that
Project.
what her name is? No.
You're just naming.
You gotta
Yes.
control-
Fuck
Blair.
me. Selma Blair.
Selma Blair.
Selma Blair. Her and him basically play the mother and father of these two kids, and there's this thing that goes off. I guess it's a sound or a signal that goes through the television and or like the radio,
causes
and
the
it
parents
makes
to-
the adults just go fucking nuts. It doesn't affect kids, but I mean like psychotic to the point that they're starting to kill off their children.
Oh, so almost like The Purge, but not.
This came out in 2017.
They should have played
This
that
looks
kid
like
in
it
that
came
movie.
out like fucking 20 years ago.
But in all honesty,
Oh,
just
no.
based off of his acting style, how he acts, he over-exaggerates his acting to begin with. This is honestly one of his better roles.
Yeah.
Because the entire movie lent to overacting from beginning to end.
He was in
Like
Moonstruck?
Face Off.
What?
He was
Wind
in
Talkers.
Moonstruck?
Has anybody
Yeah.
seen that
Yeah,
one?
he was in
What is it?
Wind Talkers.
Peggy
That was
Sue
a good
got
one.
married. That was a great
Have
movie.
that movie
How
and
was
I
he in a
never
movie
watched
with
it.
Cher?
Um,
The Great Cher. Nicolas Cage, someone allowed that?
Yeah. It
No,
happened.
but Wind Talkers is a war-based movie, and he does relatively well in that one.
Okay.
Like you said, you owned it, but
My
you
mother
never
likes
watched
the
it.
movie.
Yeah,
My mom loves
so-
Nicolas Cage.
Well, he
I
in
know.
that one like
We had so many of his movies. Like, we had those little, like, CD books. Like, giant ones with, like, 400 fucking DVDs.
Like, the book itself was labeled Nick.
We might as well have. Fucking shit. Half of one. We had, like, 4 of those books. And they were, like, this fucking thick. It was awful.
We had 3 copies of Peggy Sue Got Married.
When we started hosting, like, basement parties, my brother and I, when we, like, got into high school, we
That sounds sketchy, but go on.
we hosted basement parties. It was just like a little rave in our basement.
Right up my alley.
little bit of spin the bottle.
bunch of teenagers getting drunk, getting high, fucking doing bullshit, whatever. But
It's only sketchy when the door locks
when we started hosting basement
from the
parties,
outside.
a couple of my friends
From the outside.
former
Yeah.
friends, they're not really friends anymore,
Yes, that's
but they took our books of DVDs and just started flinging them across our backyard and like poured hot sauce in my mom's car, and it was just they got too drunk.
Oh.
No shit.
Yeah.
I was hoping there was something involved substance-wise that
Yeah.
made them do that.
Yeah, no, they got too drunk and they started throwing our DVDs all over the yard and smashing shit and
No more basement parties.
oh no, we had like 1,000 more basement parties after that. Like
I'm related, but a different kind of party. Almost the same. Have you ever had a plate smashing party? You go into the middle of a field, smash a bunch of dishware, and then make art out of the shattered pieces.
see, they tried to do that
Wow.
the same
Yes,
night
it-
that they did the
That sounds
fucking
crazy.
CD
That
throwing.
sounds like some shit I will do.
It was the same party with the they were still throwing CDs.
Oh god.
Yeah, they
They were like, CDs? No, you don't.
they just fuck you.
CDs.
My mom went
Now
out
you
of her
know.
way to buy everyone
I
their
like
own
that.
mug.
DDs, frisbees.
I fucking like that. CDs nuts though.
My mom like went out of her way to buy everyone their own mug for these parties. So like they weren't. If you had, she got Sharpies and everything, so people can like decorate their mugs and shit.
Oh.
And fucking so like she didn't do anyone's dishes. If your name was on the mug in the sink, you have to fucking wash it. But yeah.
That's why I went around using everyone else's mug.
Exactly.
Got them in so much trouble.
Exactly. But yeah, no, they started smashing those mugs and shit. I'm like, that's so mean. My mom did a nice thing for you.
Motherfuckers.
My mom, I swear to God, she was the most naive fucking person when we were throwing those parties. She convinced herself that we were not drunk or high.
But she's like, well, you know, they're under my roof, so I know what they're up to, so I'd rather have them
No,
but like, she was probably that mom that was like,
she knows
in
that
her
it's
head,
happening.
she was like, I'd rather they hang out here because I know they're not doing anything.
Yeah, like, she knows that it's happening, but she's in complete denial that it's actually fucking happening. She's like, they're just having fun.
I think
You're
if
like
a teenage year, we had a name for that.
Exactly! You have no idea.
Like,
My
oh, you
ex's
must have
head
had
was
too
in
much
a bucket.
pizza.
They call that Christian denial.
It was. That's exactly what it was.
Yeah, I knew a lot of moms like
we
that.
would host these parties on like Fridays and Saturdays, and my mom was like, "All right, well, if you want people to sleep over on Saturdays, they have to come to church with us on Sunday." And they did, because most of them lived here in Haverhill, and our church is like right down the street.
Probably still fucked up.
What church did you go to?
First Baptist, right on Main Street.
Oh, okay, we were just taking her. I was just curious.
Probably.
Yeah, no,
probably
fucking,
still fucked up going to church.
Like, nah, all my friends were fucking shit-faced during service.
Communion, hair of the dog.
Yeah. Fucking, no, we had grape juice.
That's what... Never mind.
Yeah.
Anything can be liquor if you leave it sitting long enough.
Yeah, it could.
Liquor, I hardly even know her.
We're going to take a quick break now. We're
All
going
right.
to bring up the second part of the portion. Second portion. I haven't got the first one. I'm going to bring up the partition between the front and the back of the podcast here. And let our sponsors speak, and we'll be back for Tea Time.
No.
All right, we're back from our sponsors, and we're going to go ahead and just dive right into Tea Time with Honey today.
Tea Time with Honey is about to make this podcast take a whole fucking turn in, like, a backwards direction. Okay, so there have been reports that missing migrant children are being funneled through Christian adoption agencies.
Okay.
And the Trump administration says they can't reunite the missing migrant children with their families because it'll be too much effort. So, kidnapping these children, putting them in cages, and then forcefully adopting them out to random Christian families without anyone else, without their guardian's knowledge. Fucking, it's too much effort to fucking give them back to their families.
It's crazy because they're gonna grow up thinking they're an entirely different person.
They're gonna grow up thinking that their parents abandoned them.
Well, if they're young enough when they're adopted, they might not have any memory of their parents or who they are.
Yeah,
and suddenly they're just this this is my family.
They're gonna grow up. They're gonna know that they're adopted into the family, though.
Well, they're gonna know they're adopted, but they might not know. You know what I mean?
They're never gonna have the real truth about
what happened
and
how
to get into that fucking situation.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, and you already know for a fucking fact that most of these parents are already gonna tell these adoptive children that their parents broke the law, or their parents were degenerates, or drug dealers, or prostitutes, or some fucking awful fucking thing.
Anything but refugees.
Anything but refugees that were trying to get somewhere safe and have their children
and
grow up in a place
life
that actually has some kind of promise or hope for the kids' futures.
Mm-hmm.
They're never going to tell these children that they were kidnapped from their families, that they were secretly adopted out through random fucking Christian agencies. And, I'm so sick of this Christian bullshit! Oh my god! You guys can chime in.
So, one of the main services that you're actually speaking of, this is called Bethany Christian Services. They're the one that actually has direct ties to Betsy DeVos.
Yep.
They've actually just recently, mind you, stopped their project that allows them, where they
international
assist.
adoption.
But it wasn't just international. They are actually one of the companies that were funneling the migrant children. They were basically assisting with placing them with adoptive homes.
Yeah. So now they're ending their international adoption to cover their fucking asses.
Basically, they're
that they just kidnapped fucking thousands of children.
Public statement was so that they can focus on...
It's their caution hot label.
Yeah.
Adoption within the country. The folks at home, you know? We can't take care of the kids here to begin with. Why are we funneling kids in from other countries?
Yeah, like, fucking... We've got, what, 450,000 children in fucking foster care and adoption agencies.
And they don't
shit.
make it easy to adopt a child.
They don't, and they're trying to cut off specific Christian agencies are trying to cut off adopting to LGBT families.
Mm-hmm.
So like they're just trying to fucking make it absolutely impossible to adopt these children now so they can keep making more fucking money off these kids.
Sorry.
No, keep going.
I was gonna say the odd thing is that like they're like let's kidnap and harbor more children to put into the adoption system, but make it harder for people to adopt them.
Yeah, it's all about control. They want to make money off these children, and that's all it is.
It's almost like not caring about human health, like after it's a fetus.
Yeah, that's exactly almost.
It's almost the same like hypocrisy. It's
fucking hand in hand.
So I think everybody here should watch South Park. They did an episode
I've seen all
called
of it.
Mexican Joker.
Yes.
And essentially, like, you know, Cartman ends up sending Kyle to the, like, saying, like, oh, yeah,
to a
like...
detention center.
Yeah, like, oh, like...
A concentration camp.
Yeah, pretty much. So you sent me to a camp. Like, I'm Jewish, and you sent me to a camp. So he gets like all mad, but like
and Cartman's just like, oh man, I didn't even fucking think about that. I am sorry. I just wanted to fuck with you.
But
I honestly didn't think about
Coming
the
from
whole
a kid that cooks someone's parents in chili.
exactly.
So,
Yeah, I bet
But,
you didn't mean it.
So he ends up so what they end up
This is
doing
during the whole like PC fucking version of South Park.
So that what they end up doing is Kyle goes up there and he starts talking to the guys, and they're like, you know, like, so what you're doing is you're taking these kids from their families and like all this stuff, and he's like, that's how you get Mexican Joker, you know, like he breaks it down like
like how the backstory.
Yeah, and then like they go on like this whole thing.
Or Mexican Batman. I mean, for
well, no, because Batman's parents were killed.
Right.
The Joker's parents were clearly, taken from them.
Yeah.
But one of the things is like they have one of the kids, some kid dies, and Cartman's like, hey, I got a great idea, go adopt a kid from one of these centers. So he goes over there to adopt them, and they're like, oh, what's this?
The whites,
like,
the white family.
Yeah, the white family, and it's like the whites have no rights anymore.
Nobody cares about what the whites have to say.
And they end up going in there like, oh, this is a Peruvian like this, and
they're adopting these children out like they're fucking dogs.
And they go, what's this one?
Wine.
They've got a hallway of cages with children.
And they go, oh, what's this one? And they go, oh, that's a purebred Mexican, and they end up adopting them. And it's like,
come on out, little guy.
It's funny because at the end of the kid's like I want to see my
family,
and he's speaking Spanish, and the
family ends up adopting another child, so that fucking the kid that they already adopted has someone to play with or whatever.
So just to give him responsibility, and
fucking
it's so fucked up, but it's funny when
you
South
have
Park
to
does
feed
it.
and water and change this. This is yours now.
Yeah,
but
and he ends up becoming Mexican Joker.
He
freaks out.
He flips the fuck out and starts smashing a cop car with a bat, and everyone's like, Mexican Joker, Mexican, and shoots him. Or shoots at him. He gets away.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I forget.
He didn't die. I definitely remember, because he got down from the car and fucking dipped out.
Yeah, something but it's humorous when South Park did it. But at the end of the day, it's like
it is shedding light on what's happening.
The possibility of that's
South
exactly
Park
how
has
it would
been
end.
shedding light on a lot of shit. This whole past season was fucking crazy.
The past 4 seasons.
Yeah. They went from you and your parents to actual shit.
Actually, that was the turning point. Book of Mormon. When they came out with a musical that was actually really well thought out and clever, but additionally kind of socially
very socially
relevant. I think that was probably when they were wait, we're capable of this.
Yeah. My favorite one was the Christmas Snow episode.
I feel like that also ties in with the episode where fucking Kenny gets taken away from his parents with his brother and sister, and they get sent to the agnostic house.
I don't think I've seen that episode.
Fucking, so, like, they get fucking fostered out into this new home, and the foster parents have, like, fucking 8 other kids that just do fucking house chores, and it's just like Hepzibah House.
Yeah.
Fucking...
No.
Mm-hmm.
From a like an opposite sided like a view side like on my end like you guys are gonna hate me. I'm like, don't hate, you're not gonna hate me, but just listen to what I say when it comes down to
your whole thing on the podcast.
No, when it comes to America itself, we do let legally over 1 million immigrants in every single year. Now legally we do allow that. There's a process for it. Now when it comes to Cuba, which we actually allow them, if they come to America, they are now American citizens because they are a war-torn country.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to immigration itself, which is I see the side right there. You know what I mean? Like, I agree. But when it comes to immigration itself, there are people who do come to this country who make money tax-free and then send that money down to Mexico, which fucks with the economy. And it really does. But, that's, in the long run, that is whom they are attempting to get out of the country.
Yeah.
Now, you can't label every single person as, that they're a rapist. You can't. But because of the whole economy thing, that is why immigrants are not allowed in here unless they come in legally. So there's the legal aspect of it and the illegal aspect of it. Now... No,
I have so many responses. I'm genuinely
like I said, like
none of it's like I'm just like
right,
I'm just like cataloging as you're going.
But one of the things is like it's not that we don't want people here. It's just like they want the legal aspect of it. Now, when it comes to a child being born in America, they are American citizens, and now you can't just kick a child out because their parents aren't legal. You know what I mean? Which is now is tearing them apart, which is terrible.
See, it's only a problem when people want to come to America to have their babies to be American citizens and get fucking their child as a sponsor for their citizenship later on in the child's life. Fucking, it's only a problem when the skin is brown. Because you got fucking... thousands of people coming in from fucking Russia to have their babies down in fucking Florida.
To me? No, to me...
Because I've seen it happen.
It has nothing to do with the skin
color. But, like, to you, that's your individual basis, but I'm saying the way the system works and the way the system targets people...
It's only a problem when the skin's brown.
It is based on that.
Yeah, well, yes, I'm a different breed compared to, like, the actual racist, you know what I mean? I see...
The actual racist.
The actual racist?
Yeah, the actual
I just sound like a racist.
Well, to some, I do.
I just like your self-awareness in that commentary. That's all.
Yeah, no, but that's
I
the
just
thing.
sound like one.
I could come off as a racist because, like, your immediate thing to my comment was like, it's the brown people. No, like, to me, it's not that. It
really is. Said the majority of everyone else.
Right, they
Let
see
me ask
color.
you this.
I don't see color when it comes down to that.
But see, that's part of the problem too.
That is kind of a racist, like.
Yeah, that's kind of problem.
Like viewpoint, like point of view, like to like.
That's negating the fact that these people go through all this trauma and bullshit and fucking racial inequalities because, like, you're saying that I don't see color, but like. If you don't see color, you don't see the inequalities that these people have to go through every single day of their lives.
Stand up for someone who
exactly.
When I said I don't see color, it was I don't care what type of where you come from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when the
we know
the legal basis
behind the statement, but like also you need to understand what the statement means to other people in a way that it affects their lives.
I'm politically incorrect all the time. I get it.
Oh yeah,
it's not even about that because like, the term politically incorrect also like that term itself is just like kind of nonsensical. It's like a scapegoat in and of itself. Because it's just saying like, and I'm not.
I don't say what you want to hear. That's what I mean.
Right, sure, and say that because like when you say politically incorrect, it writes off any seriousness that the viewpoint might hold because people associate it with politics when we're talking about human lives. And politics actually does dictate human lives throughout history. That's kind of like why governments exist. So even saying that something's political to get away from it is just not helpful. But the other thing, more fundamentally, borders exist.
For a specific
They're a
reason.
man-made concept.
Yeah.
It's
Like, even broken down, even the most fundamentally, borders are a man-made concept. What happens if we start populating other planets? What happens if we start populating, like, actually, like...
It would still fall under
What happens when society finally crumbles?
What point?
But why are we claiming things
Because
when we weren't the first people there to begin with? It's literally
It's a sense of entitlement.
Colonialism is an invention of white people.
Yes, that is true.
Like,
No.
yes.
Yes.
Colonialization.
Everybody has taken over
Colonization.
other people's land, whether you're white, black, anything.
Yeah.
African tribes done it.
So I want to
Indigenous
point out.
tribes
So I
done
want
it.
to point out the difference of being territorial and and
okay,
literally
colonize.
creating a governmental systemic border.
I'm gonna explain
So,
to you colonization
the idea-
because
No,
taking
I
over
understand that.
because colonization and taking over have their difference. What he said is colonization. This is what colonization is. I'm not just gonna take, and I'm sorry, this comes from the person of color in the room. It's not
Omar,
just I'm gonna
before
take
you
over your
continue,
border.
He's right there.
I'm sorry, but you understand.
No,
Why are you yelling at me?
You're very impassioned, and I just
So this
listeners,
is the
hello.
difference between
Headphones.
colonizing and taking over. I'll come in here and then take your resources, and I'll take your money, and I'll probably rape your women. Colonization is, I come in, you're not allowed to have your own religion, you're not allowed to, I'll give you your name, you're no longer this guy from Africa, I gave you this is you who you are now.
Your name
And
is Toby.
fuck what you knew before I took over. That's colonization.
Or
That's the difference.
I'm gonna bring all my illnesses over and just wipe you out altogether.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yes, but in that aspect, but if the world itself saw what it is, we are one singular. Like, we need an alien invasion to come in.
Absolutely.
So America has.
It's the only thing that would unify us.
Once 9/11 happened, America was I want to give it like 4 or 5 years. We were never so close. You know what I mean? We all realized, like from
With
outside
each other.
Yes, with America. Now, let's say an alien invasion came in, and then it's like, oh fuck, it's us against them. That's when the Earth itself would really kind of bring themselves to be like, you know what, we are just a people.
Team
And that's-
Stargate program!
which is what it needs to be. I think everybody needs to realize we are just one people. Now, if the whole world got taken over by one country itself, like America took everything over, okay? Yeah,
So
we're forcing all this religion, but it wouldn't no longer be an immigration thing. Everybody is a part of the same thing. Everybody's paying the same taxes to the same place. Everybody's doing this. There wouldn't be like...
And
Like, it would be a whole.
let me explain to you a little bit also about working and not paying taxes in this
America
country.
taking over the world?
And
There's
he was
not
just
enough-
using a hypothetical.
there's not enough-
Like, to cause and effect.
Yeah, like if we were all one country.
Okay, let me explain to you the non-Fox News version of working here and not paying taxes. There's not enough under the table jobs that you won't pay taxes on for that to be a problem. So here we go with this. How that works for an illegal immigrant. I know plenty.
Chris has
You can finish your words.
So if you come here, you get a fake social and get a job. Cleaning a hotel, working in construction. You pay taxes. What they're not getting is a return because they cannot file with a fake social. So they are contributing.
Okay.
Unbeknownst to themselves, they are.
Oh my God, I
They're
can't tell
working.
you how
So
many
most
people-
illegals here work under a fake social.
Okay.
There's not enough jobs under the table jobs in the country since the 80s probably for that to put a real dent on
And
our
there aren't
economy.
enough roles.
Yeah, well, it's not so much the taxes itself it's just that they're sending the money over, which is where they go.
But that's also like...
Yeah, but legals send mad money over too.
Well, I was gonna say that's-
Legals send mad money over too.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was
the
gonna say that's
princes
also
and-
like we have like offshore bank accounts that like the 1% uses to avoid tax deductions on
Do
their
I
own
agree
money
with
that
that?
they
No.
On
make.
top of the tax
Yeah,
breaks
so
that
it's-
they just
Yeah, so
fucking got
I
from
would
Trump,
say we could say there's more bastardization in greater parts of the economy
Yes.
within our own system by our own people.
Yeah.
Also, the $786 billion military budget. is like a good example of like maybe misuse of funds. But
I am.
we don't have to get into that. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I'm just saying that in terms of distribution, in terms of where it's actually taking away from, it's a drop of water out of the bathtub.
Yeah.
You know, if even.
Yeah, and when I said America taking over earlier, it was more so
It was
like
for the sake of it. It was an example.
Yeah, it was eliminate all the borders.
Yeah.
And just we are who
But
we
honestly,
are.
I'd be so much more content if it was like Switzerland taking over the world.
Well, they don't care enough.
Listen.
They can't pick.
Well, yeah, but like,
Listen, they don't have $1 trillion fucking military budget.
I would
Okay.
fucking hate if the rest of the world was like us. Are you kidding me? We're terrible.
We are.
Yeah.
We're so fucking hard.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, the other thing, too, is, like, I think it's funny that we're equating, like, an alien invasion to the thing that unifies us, and it's so sad because we have climate change that we're facing, and that isn't even doing that.
Well, first
And
of all,
could be.
okay, I want beachfront property in Haiti.
Well, I'm just saying, like, my contribution in that aspect is like, we do have, like, an overlying thing that's about to fuck us, and that should be unifying us, and it still isn't, and it's so crazy.
One thing on it, so the burning of Australia, you guys did see that was, like, just people that started it. It wasn't.
But the arid conditions caused by climate change made them continue longer than they had.
Well, yeah, I'll give it that. But once you burn everything and make it last longer, now like all that heat's being poured into the air. That was so counterproductive on there. You know what I mean? Like you set this huge fire.
Well, yeah,
that's just
being
like
an arsonist is never productive.
Right? You know what I mean? But like in their heads, they were like, "This is gonna help." No, you made it a lot worse.
Was that their argument? I didn't hear their side. I guess.
They started the fires to be like, oh, this happened because of global warming. So they started the fire.
So it was like a weird movement? Like
Yeah, and they ended up causing the fire that's completely spread way out of control, which caused so much fucking shit in the atmosphere.
Destroyed like millions of animals' habitats.
Yeah, it like completely fucked shit up.
That's like SeaWorld. That's like when SeaWorld claimed to like be helping the oceans.
Oh
my God!
You know what you should do? Take the plastic out.
Well, politics is a dirty game. When you get political about any cause, some shitting is bound to happen. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the truth. It's a little far-fetched, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was the truth, though.
No,
people are that stupid. Yeah,
it became a legit thing. Like, it's not something that's
it was like 180-something people.
I would honestly not be surprised if that was the real case, that it happened that way. Just like the Gulf War started, the second Gulf War. It's pretty much a matter of, let's allow this to happen so we can start this war, because my friend's gun business and the military contracts that they hold are not doing so well. So let's allow them to blow up these buildings to sway the public opinion towards war, so this money starts coming in and things start getting better for me, my commissions, and my friends in their industries.
Mm-hmm. And then there was the
I want to make sure what you're saying doesn't become irrelevant.
It already has.
Through distance. No, let's address it, though. Let's address it.
I don't have much to say.
Okay.
It was just about borders. We're good.
I want to know.
Say words.
It's a great
Say
book.
words.
There's no way to completely and utterly eliminate borders. There's borders between this house and the house next door. So, I mean, it's the borders are always going to be there. There's things that divide us. There's things that
So yes, individual property exists.
borders and property ownership.
I mean,
is
it's
just
all
illusion,
weird.
honestly.
All of it's like. Oh no, I will say all of it's weird.
Even the
like
states,
it's weird that we put a flag on the moon.
It's just a way for any particular country to say, by the way, this is what we own, and this is what you own. You keep your shit on your side, we'll keep our shit on our side.
Sure, and at one point that maybe served a purpose, but like the more
I don't think it serves a purpose anymore.
That's what I'm saying. At one point it might have, and even when it did serve a purpose, I don't think it did. It was just what we referred to it as, because like being territorial and things, that's how empires grew, and we need to protect that and things. But
just wait for them to keep track of what
but I don't need like documentation to like come into your house.
You're damn right you need a warrant.
Well, no, I mean, on a smaller scale.
Say Chris is Canada.
I mean,
I don't need.
In the same vein, though, if somebody crosses from Canada over to here unexpectedly, they might get shot.
Yeah, I know.
Saying.
Unexpectedly, but I'm just saying, like, even if a Canadian goes, "Hey, come over here," you still need to produce the documentation.
If you want to come into my house, I need to know you.
Right. But I'm saying all it takes is a verbal transaction. It's not that like it's not the same as like governmental like.
Well, it's not. It's on a smaller scale,
and.
It's...
At one point, it was just signing a book at Ellis Island.
There's a lot of people that I keep at my border.
It was, honestly. But it was like, what's your name?
Even with the proper credentials, you can see on that side.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah, I mean, that was to eliminate potential discrimination.
No, it was like, I can't pronounce that, Johnson.
No, it was to eliminate, like, Doyle, like my middle name, which is my mom's side of the family, O. Doyle, was our original name, and we had to drop that so that we could get jobs.
Well, yes.
It wasn't a matter of pronunciation in every case. It was a matter of, will I get hired because I'm from here?
But,
Latinos are the new Irish.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what I mean? It's like, we go through waves of this, on a generational basis, and it's just, now that it's easier to scapegoat someone who looks different than you altogether.
I just think if you're a scummy person, you're a scummy person.
I agree with that, and I wish the world worked that way, but there are systems in place that don't view individual actions.
No, one thing with borders, let's go with the American borders, like state to state. That's the only border concept I like, except I don't think the rules should be different for, like, Massachusetts than they are for New Hampshire. I think they should all be, like, the exact same. But the reason why we have, like, those individual states is kind of to tell the different, like, okay, like, to break it down a little bit easier. Like, okay, instead of, like, everything as a whole, it's like, okay, this section did this. That I agree with when it comes to a border itself. But, Massachusetts is a Commonwealth, which we have different set of laws compared to California. I don't like that. You know what I mean? I think it should like all be the same.
I think a big problem with this is that this country has become too big. This should be probably like 7 countries.
Well, then now we're
if we're gonna have borders, why is one country so vastly big than others?
No, we have our own borders within our own country. We have state borders.
Well, that's another problem with this country is that the culture is way too divided.
Which was actually set in place like with the original 13 colonies.
Exactly.
Like it started
it was
that
broken
way.
up even further.
Well, it was broken up that way so that people had delegates, because when they were setting up a government, they needed things to make sense on an accessible level per population.
Like one person controls like each
for a group of people. Yeah,
it was not only ownership of property or claim. It was like, how do we represent these people within the system that we're trying to create?
Yeah.
So it contributes more to that, like, in a way.
Yeah, but I just
originally, and then things grow, and you go, how did this get here? And
but that's the state system itself. That's why, like, you have those representatives that can keep track of what's happening in that area.
Right, but is that necessary with the amount of information that we can distribute in seconds?
You know how much I need to pay in my taxes. Why do I have to do my taxes? Mm-hmm. You understand that statement? Like, we have to go through pretty much fucking jump through hoops to figure out how much money that we have to pay you in taxes. But if we don't give you the right amount of money, now we're breaking the law. But you know how much money I need to give you.
So why don't you just tell me how much money I need to give you?
I don't know. Again, with the information thing, TurboTax takes me like 15 minutes.
Yeah, the TurboTax is fucking
so
godsend.
Back to the information.
But the thing, like, the information
how technology has shifted the need for certain things.
I
see what he's saying.
My grandfather help me do my taxes. Fucking like, he's the smartest person I know, and he still fucking does his taxes by mailing them in. So
that stresses me out.
Yeah,
I did that once and I didn't like it.
It makes me very uncomfortable.
I mean, there's also like
people steal our mail.
Anomalies, things that happen. You know, like with the uninsured. If you pick up insurance partway through the year, you're not paying quite as much because of basically the penalties.
But
that
why
they have put in
don't
place.
you know? Everything's hooked up to my social. Why don't you friggin' know that I had insurance or not? Why don't you know that?
Well, because they're not systems that talk to each other.
Why not?
Yeah, that's that's a problem. Definitely.
I know, but I'm just saying, like that's just how it is. It's like the borders. It's like that's how it is. Like,
why aren't local governments, communicating with the federal government, making sure that everything's copacetic? But
we're the aliens.
Well, why? Right. I mean, why do state laws differ from federal laws?
Exactly.
Like that.
I
that's
mean,
all,
so that
those are all
marijuana
under the
is
same
legal.
umbrella
That's
of what the fuck.
Yeah.
right.
But it's like we need aliens.
And apparently that's our rant on.
That is our rant.
And I think our aliens
Has
should be
nothing
climate
to do with
change.
my-
One more thing. It was if you guys are into anime, listeners or anybody
You
here,
lost me. Just kidding.
Militia the Rebellion is one of my all-time favorite animes, and it's about Britannia taking over everything and like that, like how different factions all hate each other, and one guy takes over everything, becomes the bad guy, so that everybody else teams up to take him out. And then everybody loves each other from that point on. It was a really great concept.
So if Hitler turned out differently?
If Hitler won and then we all killed Hitler, yeah.
Right. Like if Hitler was the Wicked Witch.
But the thing is he did it intentionally. Like, he became the bad guy on purpose.
No, I know.
You know what I mean?
I was
like,
just
he
being
made up this
ridiculous,
whole...
mostly.
Yeah,
That
like,
wasn't
it's
real
definitely
commentary.
something
I
worth
hope
watching
you know.
in my eyes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Definitely food for thought.
So we do have some time restraints that we're going over the border of some time restraints that we had today.
No more borders!
And I do apologize for
It's
that.
all good.
Must be
Except the store.
one pitch storm, maybe?
Okay.
I'm just thinking, I don't want to drag it out too long.
Yeah.
And I
You don't want
feel,
the pitch storm to become a bitch storm.
So
I still have 2 hours.
I'm gonna let the birthday girl pick
Okay.
which one we're gonna do.
Well, I saw a red card over here.
There's
so.
red cards in both. I made sure.
Oh, okay. Well,
card.
this
I
has
think-
2 red cards.
Oh, too bad. All right.
Okay. Okay.
I like this one too. I'm gonna hold on to that for next week.
Next week.
Go ahead.
We already had this one.
Did we? I'll give you the red card that I've got here because it'll make everything so much worse. So here you go.
Okay.
Like I said. Go for it. Am I wrong? Does it make everything worse?
A troubled priest with a talent for exorcisms gets stranded on a desert island full of horny co-eds, and Bill Cosby wants to play the love interest.
What the fuck?
Can you make that work? Yeah, of course we can make that work.
It wrote itself.
It wrote itself.
It's us.
So Bill Cosby's definitely one of the characters.
We've got
that
the-
we have.
Well, now, hold on a
How
minute.
about Bill Cosby is the troubled priest?
With the
Would you like a
jello.
pudding pop with your communion?
Exactly.
Straight
Stranded on a desert island full of horny co-eds.
Don't mind the funny
So-
taste in your drink.
So we've got
Does this rag smell like
Bill
chloroform
Cosby.
to
I
you?
want to throw Harvey Weinstein in there. Jeffrey Epstein. Why is it all the Steens?
You can't.
Well, you can't. What are you going to throw the
Jews.
Are we doing?
Watch out.
Weekend of
Oh,
Bernie's?
come on.
They're doing all the fucking like
The
creepy
Jews.
pedophile fucking guys.
Watch out.
But we're
Just throw
doing
them all
Weekend
on
at
an island
Bernie's,
and let
though,
them kill
right?
each other, fucking
Because
eat each
Jeffrey
other,
Epstein is no longer part of this world.
His ghost.
We're just going to take. We know, just
Literally.
unbury
He's
his
an
corpse and.
exorcist. He's an
He's
exorcist.
an exorcist. He's got to fucking exorcise Jeffrey Epstein's ghost out of some kid.
So somebody has to play Jeffrey
Whoa,
Epstein
whoa, whoa,
and
whoa,
Harvey
whoa.
Weinstein.
Clearly an adult, because that would be Jeffrey Epstein's worst nightmare, being trapped
No, he would just
in a kid's
masturbate all
body.
the time.
Right, exactly, but then, like, you know...
A teenage girl's body.
Oh, who knows, boy, girl, whatever.
Bring back the ghost of
I
Jeffrey.
don't know that pedophilia falls into line with sexuality. I think it's
No.
just not.
Yeah, but he was peddling a certain type. He was peddling out a certain type.
peddling.
Peddling.
So I read something about Epstein that he might have been a Mossad spy that was blackmailing politicians into giving him info for Israel.
Oh, that would put him in a better light than what's currently on him for a spotlight.
And that's probably why the article.
Not much better, just
And
He's
Sandusky was a great coach.
I don't know. I don't think he was a spy of any
Right.
kind. I think he was just a creepy fucking
That's what I
crusty
think.
pedophile.
But that's what I think too. That they did that just to
Side
fix
note,
him up a little.
When I was a child.
Can we have this Bill Cosby, though?
Oh my god.
Check
Is
Bill
that orange? Is
Cosby.
this the new black?
Yeah.
but he's jacked because he's in prison.
When I was a kid, my mom was like filing her nails, and she was like, I was like, "What's that called?" And she goes, "Oh, well, it's for your feet. It's a pedophile." And at a young age, I thought a pedophile was a file for your feet.
Oh my god!
And I was like, that is the funniest pun that I was not aware of.
You thought it was like a file for you, like...
Well, because pedo, like, ped is like...
Yeah, feet. It's related
like,
to feet.
Right, so like pedophile, it was just like a word.
I would like to vote Nicolas Cage for Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh my god. Yeah. I like it.
I was waiting, I was trying to figure out how to slip him in.
There you go. Well, if we're going to bring
him...
However,
like Bill Cosby's roofie.
Bill Cosby's roofie.
However, I do like the Weekend at Bernie's idea, so I think that I do not think that Nicolas Cage should be allowed to do any acting whatsoever outside of just literally laying there dead.
Can it be Weekend at Bernie Sanders?
Yes!
And he's there with all the horny co-eds.
And if we're gonna bring Bernie Sanders to this,
we'll legalize
I'm once again
marijuana.
asking for money.
There's one guy that I would like to see do or act as Bernie Sanders. Take a little bit of prosthetic makeup, but Louis Black.
Oh
no, I was gonna say
oh.
Because they're actually like they found out they're related on that Lineage show, whatever is on Friday nights. Larry David.
Larry David would work. We could go to the other extreme, and a lot more prosthetic makeup would be needed. But Tommy Chong.
Oh my god!
I thought you were going to say Meryl Streep because she's just such a great actress that she could
pull off Bernie Sanders.
She could pull it off.
Or Glenn Close because she was that movie where she played a guy playing a girl playing a guy.
Yep.
Yeah. Knobs. Tom Robert fucking what's that movie?
Did you just have an aneurysm?
Yep, sure did. And it's freaking your fault.
Irregardless.
Fucking words.
That's literally his whole department.
So real quick,
it was like irregardless. And I just heard it coming from their area, and I walk by their cubicles and I go, "Y'all are responsible for the aneurysm I'm about to have," and they all look at me like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Irregardless."
Irregardless.
So yeet is a fucking word, but irregardless isn't?
Yes!
Alright, yeah.
I would rather yeet my fucking self onto a highway than listen to irregardless.
Because
he does say
regardless is already a word that means the thing that you're trying to say when you say
irregardless is a double negative.
I do this to torture
It's like saying not for nothing.
Or
ironic when you mean coincidental.
Yeah.
No offense, but...
Oh my god.
We all know that's yours.
That one drives me fucking insane.
No offense. When people say no offense, it's basically
offense is coming.
Something offensive is going to be
no
said.
offense, but it's.
I would like to take that saying back and say no offense, but shortly before giving somebody a compliment.
No offense, but your hair looks great today.
It does.
Literally, but there's literally no offense.
To completely eliminate sexual harassment, you have to say that. That's a good.
Is that what's gonna fix it?
Yeah, be like, no offense, but you look really nice today. If you say that you look really nice today, it could be like he's sexually coming on to me.
There's a lot of people talking over each other, and we're still on a podcast.
Hello,
we're on a podcast.
So I don't know that the no offense will kill the sexual harassment part of it. I compliment women all the time, and they don't take it as a sexual thing.
Because you're not a creep.
Yeah, because you're not a fucking weird ass.
Well, then again,
but a lot of
sketchy
women,
dude
let me tell you
that
this,
comes
though.
off super rapey. Like,
let me tell you this: if I tell a woman, no offense, with all due respect, but I would love to bend you over a feed barrel. That would be sexual, no matter how much no offense.
Feed barrel.
Yeah, Omar's in
some sexual
we had a farm.
Locker room talk.
But you know what I mean.
But no, I completely know what you
talk.
fucking mean. But it's the way you come off. Okay, so you can't just walk up to a girl and be like, "Oh, no offense, but you
nice
whatever the fuck."
tits.
Yeah, no offense, but nice tits. You can't walk up to a girl and say that without expecting to get stabbed in the fucking eye.
Exactly.
Fucking.
Unless they happen to be purchasing mice.
And not been stabbed.
But
so women also live in fear of being murdered in response to speaking up for themselves.
Yeah, honestly. So
it's true.
If I say something like that, it's
if
somebody who knows me. And
No. I'm saying in general.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not trying to talk over you as a woman.
No. If some random guy on the street fucking, like, gives me some backhanded compliment about how badly they want to fuck me or some shit, like, I can't just, like, ignore them.
Lash out.
Cause
Or lash out.
I can't respond with some kind of, like, oh, go fuck yourself, because they'll turn it around and be like, oh, why don't you? Like,
You gotta say the right things.
people are so fucking disgusting to women, bro. Like, it's... I'm trying to fucking, like, process my fucking thought
If a guy
process.
comes on to you, right, next time just be like, take that oversized clit you call a penis and fuck yourself with it, and they're gonna
that's
think
transphobic.
But
about
see,
it.
they'll be...
Yeah.
Then you've got the guys that are like, oh, she's feisty, she's got a little fight in her, I like that, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And, like, you can't fucking fight back. You can't talk back. You
Because
have to...
if
You just have to accept it,
you're
otherwise you're gonna
inciting
get either
violence
killed
against
or raped
yourself or
or kidnapped or
escalation.
some shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like
Men don't understand
But
that
not every man is a rapist.
not every man is a rapist, but also...
But
women have to live in fear that every man is a rapist because the majority fucking act like it. The
Yeah.
majority
I was like,
fucking go out of their way.
The majority, nobody.
No,
is
they fucking
the
act
rapist.
like rapists. They fucking act like they're entitled to the woman's attention because they paid her a compliment, because they said something somewhat nice to them, even though the only reason they said it is because they want to get in her pants. Like,
Right.
she has no value outside of her genitalia.
right.
It's true.
Fucking rants.
Just to make everybody uncomfortable, I'm naked under these clothes.
Ew.
Me too.
Yeah.
No, like
You're
I'm
all
saying,
sluts.
I'm saying hashtag me too.
Hashtag me
against
too.
what you just said.
I'm wearing a skin
Again.
suit.
Hashtag me too.
I happen to be wearing a skin suit.
But, like, nah, it's, like, a huge fucking problem. And people are like, oh, women just need to stand up. Like, I shouldn't have to carry a fucking knife and pepper spray and a fucking set of brass knuckles on me every time I leave my house.
Self-defense is not the answer. It's we should teach boys not to
Exactly.
kill women
Well,
because they won't have sex with them.
I don't fucking
Hey.
need to. I'm not that guy. You know what I mean? Like,
No, and
You're
that's
not
fine.
that guy.
I
However,
am a guy that will say a statement. You know what I mean? Like, I
But you
have
also-
said very sexual
as-
statements towards
As a
women.
straight white male,
But-
you need to use your privilege to speak out against the people who are doing this kind of thing.
You think I won't?
For-
If some guys like,
I don't know.
If I'm at the bar and some guy's like overly hitting on a chick, you know, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, bro,
Yeah,
like,
and she's
no,
very
she,
clearly
like,
uncomfortable.
fucking relax."
so I just want
I'm
to
not
point out
afraid to
one
say that.
thing, and the only
But we
thing,
need to make it-
the way that you can contribute best is by
Being an
shooting
ally.
down other men, even in a group of only men.
I'm actually in a group on Facebook
I've done that.
that's...
So yeah, so the best way you can contribute to any type of privilege that you carry, say like as a white person, when I'm in a group of white people and people start using the N-word, like, because even it's just in a song, I will speak up.
I don't know. I'm singing a song.
If
No, but-
as a man in a group of men, I will shoot down that rape joke.
Yeah, because
As
you don't.
you need to carry that responsibility with you at any moment and see opportunities
Yeah.
and recognize.
It's not just in front of
opportunities.
your female friends.
Correct.
Fucking...
And it's mainly, it's mainly because of this, guys. I
The
have three
teaching comes
boys.
from within.
I have three boys. Two of them are now men. So just imagine what this, when I'm trying to teach these boys to be respectful men since they were little, and they have to be let loose into a world where nobody respects anything, and they're not sure, you know how kids are. They're not even sure what they're going to look like. Well, my dad taught me that I walk up to a girl, introduce myself, and start a conversation. Not just start talking about her ass. Give you an example. In the meantime, they see all their friends because they see their parents doing all this other shit. So, from a standpoint just of that, all of us should be able to shut down certain conversations because what's left? Nobody has like self-standards anymore of anything, and everybody feels like if it's not their problem, it's not a problem.
I think public shaming needs to be more of a thing.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
But, like,
town square
this
tomatoes.
is America.
Like,
God
I
bless
ties into,
America.
like, I'm part of this Facebook group that it was formerly called a group where men harass other men for harassing women.
Okay.
And, like, women just post screenshots of men harassing them in their inboxes or whatever, and all the guys in the group go fucking do the same
Oh,
exact
God.
thing that these guys do to the women. and they're just like, hey baby, how you doing? Fucking like they just creep these guys out and fucking they're like, this is how you fucking treat women. How the fuck do you like it if a man treats you that way? You need to fucking cut the shit.
Interestingly
So,
enough,
like-
that's homophobia.
Yeah, that's exactly
It is.
The fear that a man will treat you the way you treat a woman?
Yep.
Yeah, that is
Fucking-
homophobia.
So, they just recently changed their name to a group where good men teach nice guys lessons.
Ooh, they should just say neckbeards.
Neckbeards!
Neckbeard.
No, one of the first podcasts that we did was God Bless America.
Ah, yes, I love that movie.
And one of the things of that is, the main character is being completely respectful, you know what I mean, just having a conversation with the girl, bought her a book, her grandmother died, so he sent her flowers, and, the girl's just like, oh, hey, like, every day smiling at him, talking to him, oh, yeah, I read that book, it was great, blah, blah, blah. The guy gets fired for sexual harassment. Men also need to be in fear of things.
No, he didn't get fired for sexual harassment.
What happened in between?
He didn't get fired for sexual harassment. He got fired because he went into their records and got her home address to send her flowers.
Okay, alright.
Like, that's too fucking far.
But no, like, she complained about him.
Yeah, she has every right to. This guy went out of his way to find her home address to send her fucking shit at her house. Like, that's
Sent her flowers
that's
because her
super
mother passed
inappropriate.
away.
Yeah, but you know,
regardless of why he sent
but it was
the flowers,
also
irregardless of why you sent them.
but it was also like
it was still
I think
inappropriate.
it's-
yeah, that was inappropriate. But like other than that, like she also said like, oh, like he's giving me books, he's done this, he's done that, he's done that. But like
She
seconds ago,
she never admitted to him that he was making her uncomfortable.
right. You know what I mean?
She had a
That
fear
was also-
of a violent response.
Exactly. Like, granted, yes, she should have voiced to him that she was uncomfortable, but also there's still that underlying fear that what if he lashes out if I say he's making me uncomfortable? What if he's, like, ruins my reputation? What if he, like, posts all this shit online? What if he fucking, like, goes to my bosses and tells them that I'm a piece of shit or I'm being irresponsible with my work? Like,
Yeah, because
he could ruin her fucking life if she turns him down.
He's in that made-up friend zone position, and he could easily start like
The
slut shaming.
Friend zone doesn't exist!
Well, yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
It's the product of a sitcom.
Yeah.
I don't believe in friends. So friends don't only means I'm not interested in fucking you.
It's an issue of
Right, like
a
I'm
world-
friends with all of you. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not interested in
It's
fucking.
an issue of a world full of people who
Exactly.
refuse to take accountability for their own shit.
Right.
It's an issue of an entire world of people who don't teach their children to be accountable for their own shit.
Instead, boys will be boys.
Oh no, boys!
that
will
whole
be boys.
Oh god, the drugs
that whole
fucking mad.
That
movie.
whole
I knew that
boys
would- I knew that
boys
would set you
culture
off.
is stupid. But it is basically the root of a lot of those problems. That boys will be boys thing is like you have permission to a lot of
The
bullshit.
first time I realized that was problematic, I was 9 years old. My brother was beating the shit out of me, and my dad's friend said, "Boys will be boys," and I
You
went,
need to-
"Help!
Yep.
I cannot defend myself right now."
The whole idea that girls mature faster than boys is fucking bullshit. It's only because girls are punished.
They do
for
mentally, but
everything-
only because they have to deal with more.
It's only because girls are
That's
punished for
the only
everything
reason.
that boys are praised for.
That's the only reason why.
It's because they're keeping up with more.
Yeah.
Like, because of training.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking boys aren't trained to be fucking like afraid for their lives growing up,
Well,
wondering
it's not
if
a
someone...
balancing act.
Yeah,
for
it's
us.
not.
Do I look pretty enough but not so pretty that I'm a slut? Am I assertive but not so assertive that I'm a bitch? Do I stand up for myself but without being...
We're expected to be these dainty little fucking housewives tending to our man's every need and this and that, blah, but also we need to be strong, independent women and fucking, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
so much fucking expectation falls on having a goddamn uterus.
Real quick, pitch
Yeah,
star.
and then you have and then you end
Yeah,
up
we
having
lost
children. And
complete track on our
basically,
pitch
it's
storm.
even worse with the expectation for women.
Let's just put it this way: the second that you decided to populate the movie with we have Bill Cosby in it, but you populated it with Weinstein and Epstein. We were done talking
Yeah, I'm
about
not
the
usually one for victim blaming, but hey.
Yeah.
Did you see what she...
I did that.
Did you see how she cast that movie?
I did that, but
Yeah.
like, come on.
We were done with the pitch the second you threw all three of them together.
And we were
like,
trying to be respectful of your time constraints.
Let's have a.
Oh no, that where?
We can do this real quick. So Weinstein walks in.
And
Mic drop.
and time restraint hitting the highway.
So Bill
Clears
Cosby,
whole calendar.
Bill Cosby as the priest.
Time restraint like, oh, fuck.
Bill Cosby as the priest.
Bill Cosby as the priest, right? How he
Now, hold on.
exercises his victims.
We need to cast people as these characters in this movie. So
Okay.
Bill Cosby doesn't get to play himself.
Okay.
Tracy Morgan gets to play Bill
No,
Cosby.
but he didn't play himself. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
Who's Bill Cosby?
Eddie Murphy gains a little weight. Have you seen Eddie Murphy's impression of Bill Cosby?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Eddie Murphy should play Bill Cosby.
Eddie Murphy is
I don't
Bill
know. I
Cosby.
like Eddie Murphy a
It's-
little too much to put him in that position.
Well, here's why. Here's why.
I would respect him more knowing that he had that range.
Well,
True.
let me
craft
and
challenge.
I also explain to you why. In
James
the
Blake.
I don't like
80s,
Charlie Chaplin's speech
in the 80s,
as Hitler.
Bill Cosby was like a staunch critic of.
Yes.
Bill
That
Cosby
shit
was
was
a very
inspirational.
critic of Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor. And basically, he went on record saying that, they're like the death of comedy, pretty much. So, yeah, it would be great karma to have
Eddie Murphy play him.
Yeah.
And no, Eddie does a great Bill Cosby.
Oh, I
Okay.
believe it.
What's his name? I got one guy in mind for not Epstein, Weinstein. And I can't think of his name worth the life of me. George Costanza.
Oh, Jason Alexander.
Jason Alexander.
Okay.
As Harvey Weinstein.
I like George.
It's
for
either him
Weinstein.
or...
But
I
I
can't
like.
because I would just picture him as George Costanza playing Harvey Weinstein, and it would be like so awkward. Like,
Right?
can you imagine him being like assertive to some over like a woman?
in any manner.
Like he couldn't
At
even
all.
flirt with someone on Seinfeld.
And who do we get for Epstein?
So he's stranded on.
We already
an
made
island
it.
with-
We already got Epstein.
Full of co-eds.
Who plays
But
Epstein?
let's
Nick
make
Cage.
this desert island kind of like the pedophiles Guantanamo Bay.
Apologies.
Or-
I have a different guy in mind for Epstein. Not Weinstein. Sorry, not Epstein.
John Bernthal?
No, Dennis
Franz.
Franz.
I don't
For
know about
Epstein?
that. I
For
don't know.
For
Weinstein.
Weinstein.
Yeah.
He would look spot on like Weinstein, really.
He
What's
would
that?
just grow a little hair.
If he was
used to
still
be
alive,
in,
it would
like-
have been Philip Seymour.
I think it was
Hoffman.
NYPD Blue.
NYPD Blue was where he got his
He
start.
was-
Just cut.
He was
Yeah.
controversial for being one of the first naked butts on network television.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, good for him.
Can we please bring him back to life for that
Right,
role?
Right.
Yeah.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, for Weinstein?
Weinstein.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. He would.
I'm
yes,
just picking out of the
definitely.
pools,
Doubt?
the pool of
Like,
actors.
it would be
that
like
we
the
can-
same character.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm just picking out of the pool of actors that we have access to, unfortunately. Unless we're...
I have a shovel.
I mean, we can have Bernie Sanders several
You
times
have a-
over and
you
just
have
have
a
a bunch
wish?
of dead people.
Okay, so this pedophiles Guantanamo Bay desert island, fucking
Guantanamo Bay.
Oh, wow.
all these.
Of course,
all
we
these
need
fucking,
Jared, the subway guy.
Horny co-eds believe that they're fucking possessed by the
No,
devil,
we
so
Nobody-
they have to
nobody
fucking
needs them.
have Bill Cosby's fucking priest character exorcise all the demons out of them, so they're not lusting towards children anymore.
He could walk around with a thing full
That's
of jello, too.
interesting.
Yeah,
It's like a conversion camp, but
exactly,
but
for
for
pedophiles.
a good purpose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be down for that.
Don't touch kids.
We could just also castrate them.
Oh,
It would be an
what was it?
island of eunuchs.
What was it? I just saw an article saying one of the states just passed fucking chemical
Alabama?
castration for
Was it
Rapists in
was it
prison.
Alabama?
That's not painful enough, though.
hang on.
That is groundbreakingly progressive for us.
If you bring
But for Alabama.
if you bring Jared into the picture, though, you could have Bob Saget play him.
Oh.
Play who?
Bob Saget.
Why?
Play
Play
who?
Jared from
No, George Costanza could play him.
Yeah.
Right?
Jared
Alabama.
from Subway.
I love
I'm hip.
Bob Saget.
Bob Saget.
Bob Saget is crazy.
Have you seen his stand-up comedy? Like
Yeah,
his
he's
Full House stuff.
fucking filthy.
He's filthy as hell.
He's
Yeah.
crazy. I
So
love
he could
him.
pull that off. He needs a good role to sink his teeth into. Of course, that would have him as a B-list actor.
We should
Yeah,
send him to a bakery. He can get a good roll to sink his teeth into.
Yeah, there you
that'll
go.
work.
Also, I have a theory.
Nothing
that,
we're pitching is going to be a good role for anybody to sink their teeth into. Nothing.
Yeah.
We got a couple of mildly good ideas.
Alabama.
Alabama.
The new
Of all
law
places,
requires
Alabama-
people who are convicted of certain sex offenses, including rape, sodomy, or incest, sex offenses. Sodomy is listed. I'm sorry. I'll gloss past that because it's Alabama. Involving victims younger than 13. I should keep reading. Receive chemical castration as a term of parole. Under the measure, Alabama Department of Public Health will oversee the procedures, which the parolee will pay for. Ooh. And people will continue receiving treatment until the court determines the treatment is no longer necessary.
Can I make a quick point? That the age that they decide it has to be under the age of 13.
Yeah, so like if you rape a 15-year-old, it's like it's kind of okay.
Yeah.
It's Alabama.
It's a step.
How old do you think my sister cousin was when she had me?
But that's still a step forward in a direction.
It's a direction, yeah, but it's a very Alabama step forward.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
yeah,
weird.
like once they're 14, once they can bleed, like
that movie.
There will
why are
be
you
blood.
pointing at me?
Time to Kill.
No. Sleepaway Camp. The ultra. Where I come from, they call them baldies.
A person who intentionally ends their own treatment will have committed a felony under the law. That's interesting.
So it's not a permanent castration.
But chemical castration
limited.
means that they're basically giving you medication. You're either getting a shot or they're giving you a pill, which you are required to take by law.
Well, I just thought chemical castration. It's like here you go,
It's
never again. Yeah. No,
Well, it's not like they're
saying
dipping your
never
penis
again.
in a vat of acid. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, they should, but
Like a pill
However.
full of saltpeter would do that. It's an herb that makes it so you can't
yeah.
But
raise the staff, so to speak.
My doctor prescribed that to me, saying that it was a male enhancement pill, and that explains so much.
Yeah, the more you know. The more you know.
I've been bathing in it even because I
my
thought it was like
God.
a bath salt.
Have some saltpeter?
You'll be freebasing it any minute now.
It was
Saltpeter
enhancing
is
your
my stage
frustration.
name. Huh?
Enhancing your frustration.
You take the pill
It's so
internally, you
saltpeter.
can't get it up. You bathe in it, you can't stand up.
Well, then I've been retaining water, and it's just, I don't know.
It happens.
Okay, I think we might have just dragged the hell out of this.
I think so.
I think we're doing well.
Dragged me to hell.
Nobody
Oh, no.
wants to cast Bill Cosby as a romantic lead in anything.
No, but we want to castrate him.
I say if we're casting Bill Cosby as the romantic lead in this movie, it's because he is the bitch boy to Weinstein and
Yes.
We could do
Unpopular
a remake of 50
opinion.
First Dates.
Oh my god.
Get it? Because every time they wake up, they forget what happened.
I'm just what I'm picturing is I'm just picturing prison speed dating.
Isn't that just called prison?
Yeah, right?
They introduce Cosby to
I thought that
prison
was the-
speed
the
dating.
showers.
It's like, all right. And what the speed dating is you got a guard that's standing outside with a stopwatch and he just throws him in the cell for 2 minutes.
7
Do what you
minutes
want.
in hell.
Moving on to the next cell.
Sounds a lot better than 7 minutes in heaven, honestly.
All right. Well,
I'd rather spend 7 minutes in hell than heaven.
Well, there's probably fewer adult braces than there were
Well,
in the 7 minutes.
if they were like, here's heaven, you get 7 minutes, and you're sitting there and everything's freaking magical, and then they take you away. No, then the rest of my life is hell. Like everything is great if you
Right.
if
You
you
showed me paradise
breathe
and
in,
you
it's
burned it down.
happiness. You know what I mean? And then you just take it away, or 7 minutes of complete torture, and then you come out and you're like,
The best comfort
time
is
is relative.
relief from pain.
But time is relative, so 7 minutes to us, yeah, it's like 7 minutes, but 7 minutes in heaven could be infinity.
no.
yeah. If you're
I just
being
think
placed in a place where
No, 'cause
7
like-
minutes doesn't exist.
Right, I was
Yeah.
going to say, I think it would just be nothing.
Well,
Like,
the
you would have no concept of time.
7
because
minutes
you're-
at infinity
you're not
is
on
still
a physical
infinity.
plane anymore, and time is a physical
yeah,
thing.
in the
Yeah.
movie Constantine, they like explain that like every second up here is like 100 years like down in hell. You know what I mean?
Wouldn't it just like? Wouldn't it be like a slinky? Like that, it wouldn't even be consistent. Like,
No.
how can you even equate it? Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, it would be different every time.
Yeah.
I imagine, because time doesn't actually exist there, so it's not like dog years where you just multiply it. It's like it's like there's no time because it's not a physical plane.
In the anime
just-
Naruto, one of the characters has like a visual thing that he can do, but it locks you in this like alternate world. 1 second might pass out here, but he made it like
1,000 years or
like 3 weeks of him being in there, you know what I mean? Like he like stabbed him like 5 times and blah blah blah, and he was like the guy's like constantly feeling the pain, and he's like, all right, 1 second, you know what I mean? And he's like, I've been here for like 7 days, and he was like, yeah, like I'm gonna keep you here for X.
They are
time.
trying to do that with prison sentences. They're trying to make it so that you can experience 1,000 years overnight.
What the fuck?
How is
I think I
That's
that?
some
saw
Black
something about
Mirror
that.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like it's like a brain stimulation thing.
Yeah.
I didn't read that much about it, but it was like a thing, and like
Shit.
I think that's brilliant.
Yeah. That's some like serious.
I got an article on that. I'd like to
Seriously,
read that.
you wanna
Okay, I'll find it.
like you say
They even haven't started doing it. I'm already seriously scared to break the law. That's crazy.
Make it seem like
Why
you've
could
been
they
in
put your
prison
brain
in
through
solitary
like,
confinement for
Just
1,000
the
years.
thought of it is scary.
Ugh. And
Suddenly Christina Perry's like, fuck.
on that down note, we're going to go ahead and sign off for the day. Thank you on behalf of everybody here.
All right.
Thank you for
Alright.
dealing with our mess.
Jesus
And,
Christ!
We'll get us all together again at some point to talk over each other. We're good at that. Okay.
There's a Daily Show segment called
So
I'm
there'll
Sorry
be,
for Talking While You Were Talking.
I love Daily Show so fucking much.
It's kind of how I keep up with the news while still
Right?
staying sane.